give you more reasons to follow the homie Sil for the latest news, scoops and moves he's about to reveal. From coffee talks to special brews, I'm out of burgers for meals. A cup of bourbon with that tea that's about to get spilled. Like, what's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard. Yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in. We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. Take out your pen and paper, sit down and take notes. Sil is the realest among imposters, scavenging cutthroats. So, what's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard. Yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in. We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. One of a show. Let's go. Between DC and Marvel, they both have a startle. Disney's moving finicky, let's not mention Star Wars. All these movie execs be drunk off their power, disconnected from the fans in the ivory towers. What's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard. Yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in. We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. When they keep making the same mistake, that's what you call insanity. They can't even acknowledge their self-inflicted calamity. What's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard. Yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in. We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. One of a show, let's go. Scoop Senator, Coffee Talks, also covering analytics, making his own reviews, cause it's always been the critics. They clout chasers, money driven, repeating the latest gimmick. Come over to Sil Nation where true vision is given. Listen, what's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard. Yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in. We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. Let's not forget Mikey's son, always special to the crew. From day one when him and Sil got together for special brew. What's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard. Yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in. We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. One of a show, I guess I'll finish on this note. When the niggas go flip mode, they turn gremlins, I'm gizmo. Come from my people, my kinfolk. For them I ride for and kill for. With this till I'm skillful, it can really escalate till it all goes abysmal. What's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard. Yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in. We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. I'm a watchman, forever vigilant, steady watching and listening, disciplined, militant, killing these dudes that started visiting. What's the latest word? Yo, Sil, we need to know. Tell us what you heard. Yo, Sil, we need to know. The ins and outs, who's walking out, buying in. We need to know your thoughts on what's new, what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. One of a show, let's go.
What's good? What's good? Oh man, this may be the biggest Saturday weekly show ever for several reasons, but the main thing we want to make it clear: this is the WB Paramount Saudis DC Snyderverse weekly show. Much love to Sil Nation. Obviously, when we're doing this show, I'm here with the right hand, Jules, on the panel. What's good with you, Jules?
What's up, Sil? Happy to be back again.
Definitely. We're actually opening up the panel for different segments of this show. If you want to give your feedback, if you want to hop on, if you want to argue with me, no, I'm just like, you don't got to argue. I mean, you can if you want to, but if you have something to say regarding the topics that we're talking about, we're opening up the invitation for you to hop on for a minute and tell us what you got right now. Real quick, as we see the topics here, I got to pull the comments down just for a second. Topics today, we're talking restore. It's interesting. Comments from Kevin Smith we're going to discuss today. Good Friday, Snyderverse style. Very interesting. Anti-Paramount rhetoric out there. We may talk about this every week, Jules, at this point with this anti-Paramount.
That's what the show is about, apparently.
So we was trying to like look forward to the deal and be positive and happy, but I keep saying this anti stuff. So
Listen, the world is just not a positive place these days.
so we will see. Supergirl, we gotta talk about Supergirl. Jules. The big trailer came out, right?
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
A lot of stuff. You're excited to talk about that?
So excited. Makes my day.
And Super Mario Galaxy. I mean, with Super Mario after the first one, everyone expected Super Mario World. They was like, don't stop at the world, go for the galaxy. That's literally what the film is. So we'll talk about that as well. Some good numbers. Much love to Silk Nation. Who's in the chat? Again, the link is pinned to join. The panel will bring you in for a minute. Just if you jump in, it's limited space back there. So you want to jump in when you can, and we'll bring you up periodically. You don't got to comment backstage or nothing because that distracts me. but definitely we'll bring you in again on certain segments. So we see Raven in the chat. Rudolph Jackson, what's good? CY, Wild Relic, much love. Bad Beast, Real Talk. Carlos in the chat. Carlos, we got the sports show Sunday night views. We're back talking sports, so we're having fun with that. Shin, what's good with you? And Jovic as well. Smash the like. Make sure you are subscribed. I just got a good feeling about this week, Jules. I don't know what it is. Is it because I'm on Easter break right now? Maybe that's what it is. I had a lot of time.
Maybe you on that school schedule, so you feeling some freedom right now.
Yeah, I'm just feeling pretty good here. We got Dave in the chat as well too. Again, we'll bring y'all up periodically with this as well. So good stuff. Let's not waste any time. Let's get into the big topic. So people always say, "Oh, you always hold the big topic for later." Sometimes I do, but this week we're just gonna come front loaded. Like we're just not playing around with this restore topic. What do we mean? Well, Kevin Smith had a very interesting comment about the Snyderverse. And just before we play the clip, Jules, Kevin Smith, he's a fan of a lot of stuff, right? He's a fanboy, right?
Absolutely, a big fanboy, one of the most respected comic book junkies in our media, I would say, just going back to the 90s. I mean, he's always been, he may not have like massive projects he works on. He's not a director, but he's just a famous fan, I would put it at. I mean, he does some creative works here and there, but they're not like mainstream. But he is close to the people who are working on these projects or have been working on these projects. So we'll just leave it at that.
For sure. So it matters when Kevin Smith says something. He was the one that, kind of broke some behind the scenes news with Zack's original plan with the Snyderverse.
Right.
So we take his comments.
Yeah, he's also the one way back when who first scooped that Batman or Batfleck is not wearing all black, which was a first in Batman film lore since since the 90s, which was huge. Now we found out he was actually wearing the gray bulletproof suit, which was freaking awesome when it came out. Still the best bat suit to date. So yeah, I mean, when he does say something about these properties, you should pay attention. For sure.
So let's pull up what he said. If you haven't caught it, if you was living under a rock in the fandom, we got Kevin Smith here. So let's see. Let me make sure I got the volume good here. Let's go.
Snyder kids might fucking have their dreams come true, man. But I mean, in a world where this Paramount and Warner Brothers, thing is moving forward, it looks like the merger, we may see the Snyderverse come back to life.
Who knows? Nobody knows anything.
First off, Mark Bernard, he's like a hater for no reason.
Seriously, he like immediately he's like, no, it's not happening.
He's like, I don't want this to happen. But it's like, yo, Kevin Smith
is a hater. He's wearing a Clubber Lang shirt.
Like, Kevin Smith's very nonchalant. Like, hey, I'm gonna play it right back here.
Snyder kids might fucking have their dreams come true, man. But I mean, in a world where this Paramount and Warner Brothers, you know, thing is moving forward. It looks like the merger. We may see the Snyderverse come back to life.
Who knows? Nobody knows anything anymore.
I wouldn't
There are
discount
no rules.
I wouldn't discount it.
I like how Kevin Smith was like, yo, bro.
He's just like, whatever, bro. Yeah, like I want to stay down. Meanwhile, this guy is just like, nobody knows anything. Like, you can't make any predictions. And Kevin Smith's like, I don't know, man. Some people might know something.
Right. You know what I'm saying? So what do you take from that, Jules? Right. Watching this fresh again, it's like, yeah. Oh, actually, no, this is your first time seeing this clip, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, I saw the caption. I knew about it. I just never watched the clips.
So seeing like the body language and everything with that, Kevin Smith's like, hey, don't
Kevin
discount
Smith is
this,
like,
bro.
he's 1% away from like just being like, yeah, it's restored. Like he's just like maintaining his composure because of course legalities and everything going on. Nothing's official until it's official, which is kind of like where we've been for the past few months as all this started. So I mean, yeah, like he seems pretty sure of it. He's like, yeah, he said it twice, don't discount it.
Mm-hmm.
Which means there's a really good chance that it's definitely happening.
As I've been saying recently, Jules and viewers, I'm only can take these things one way at this point. Like this, it's no other way for me to take this.
One of his best friends is literally Ben Affleck.
Exactly.
He gets insider info.
And he's pretty cool. Kevin Smith, he you know, at times he's in touch with Zack and Jim Lee with DC Comics as well. And so Kevin Smith doesn't just throw stuff out there. And I say this, I have a story with that because Kevin Smith, he was supposed to develop some kind of this was during the Warner Media days. They were doing like this Elseworld. They were developing some Elseworld DC. I don't know if it was animated or whatever, but Kevin Smith was supposed to do like a Bizarro story.
Okay.
And he came out, you know, talking about just different details. And then I learned about it. And so I put a tweet out there saying basically Kevin Smith wasn't allowed to use this, and that. It was just a very random tweet. It was like in 2022, like when I was just like going crazy on Twitter. And Kevin Smith jumped in my thread and was like, well, let me just kind of correct a few things that you said. This is actually what's happening. My point in saying that is that Kevin Smith, he takes it very seriously when he says stuff publicly. And the fact that I had an iota off on his potential Elseworld DC project, he felt that he had to say something publicly about it.
Mm-hmm.
I just found that very interesting. I was like, bro, I was like, if it was just a rumor, you could have let that slide and like it wouldn't have been no big deal. But he's like, no, like this is actually what I was trying to do. I was trying to connect it to the DCEU is what he was saying. I was like, dang. Okay. And he takes it seriously is my point. When he speaks out about Snyderverse, Kevin Smith takes it seriously.
Well, Kevin Smith also is not one to want to steer the fans wrong. I feel like he does have a lot of respect for the fandom. So the fact that he even went into that thread and respectfully was like, no, let me break this down to you. Instead of some other ones that were like, oh, you're completely wrong. You're an ass. Like, you know, they're just going in. Like he went in and actually explained the situation, which was pretty cool on his part.
And no Kevin Smith slander in the chat. All right? It's okay to have your own opinions on it, but Kevin Smith is a champion for the Snyderverse. So I'm going to give him that respect every time. But if you don't like his He-Man, I'm not going to argue with you like right now about that overall. But I think, Jules, this means something. It really, I can't act like this is a meaningless comment from him.
This is probably the first really big indication that there is something in the works that's like public, right? Without any kind of, I don't know, guesswork, right? Like he's insinuating that there's possibly something in the works. No one else has come out and verbally said as much other than like us and other people online, like fans. But no one actually in the industry has come out saying as such. So that's definitely a big deal.
And the connection to them, I'm going to play it one more time because he's saying Paramount. He's saying all these things. So I'll play it one more time. No, really.
Snyder kids might fucking have their dreams come true, man.
No, actually, too, the way when I pulled this clip, they were talking about the Lanterns show, right? The trailer that Jules has that viral clip out there on Instagram talking about that.
You mean the show everybody's calling the Brown Lanterns?
Brown Lanterns, right? And just a backlash. So they watched the trailer live on, Kevin Smith has that show he does on YouTube, and they were just talking about the show, and Kevin Smith just felt he had to bring this up. So this was like an unsolicited comment.
Like he just wanted to tell somebody, and he decided to put it on. Put it on
He's
this
like,
platform.
bro. He's like, yo, just Snyder got to come back at this point. That's what's crazy. The context with this.
Snyder kids might fucking have their dreams come true, man. But I mean, in a world where this Paramount and Warner Brothers, thing is moving forward, it looks like the merger, we may see the Snyderverse come back to life.
Who knows? Nobody knows anything anymore.
I don't want it.
I wouldn't discount it.
He looks so mad too.
He did not like that comment from Kevin Smith.
No, he's not even looking at him. He's just looking down. He's just like, whatever. Like crosses his arms, just complete denial, just bad body language.
Yeah, when you talk about body language, like this dude,
he's not accepting this at all.
His whole demeanor, kind of, because I think in context of this clip, Kevin Smith Mark Bernard was like, when Kevin Smith brought up Snyderverse, Mark was kind of like, oh yeah, the Snyder fans are going to crap on the show. Like that's what he thought he was saying. But when Kevin Smith made it clear, like, no, Snyderverse may come back, bro. His whole body language changed. With this.
Snyder kids might fucking have their dreams come true, man. But I mean, in a world where this Paramount and
I majored in psychology, so I always got.
Oh, that's right. Up. Yeah.
These body tics. You saw how?
Yeah, I was just. He's like what they call that self-soothing or something like that.
Yeah, it's like where they're preparing themselves, or they're holding back. So like, just see how he changes immediately.
Where this Paramount and
he's chilling right now. That's a tick right there. He's like, I want to say something so bad. Yeah, he doesn't like what he's hearing.
Warner Brothers, thing is moving forward. It looks like the merger. We may see this.
Look at his face.
He was like caught off guard. Like, really?
He's like, oh my god, I wanted this to die, bro.
Snyderverse come back to life.
Who knows?
Throw his hands up. Like,
that's just like, bro, I don't want to fight with you, but like, I'm upset. Actually, he's visibly upset.
And then he crosses his arms. He's like, I'm not accepting any more of this.
That's a very guarded thing right there. Mm-hmm. That's a very guarded thing. Like, I don't even want to I'm closing myself off on this conversation, but
I'm not entertaining this right now.
But Mark, we don't care what you have to say. I'm gonna be really honest. When we watch this Kevin Smith show, we don't care what Mark has to say. I mean, just me personally. And he's an accomplished writer. I'm not trying to diss everything. Mark Bernard, he's the one that broke the story of the Schumacher cut existing. So I'm gonna give him that respect, right? He said it was a cut that actually exists, that was confirmed, and he does a lot of work, with different writing teams. So no disrespect on that angle. All disrespect when we're talking about Snyderverse because you're a hater about it. And again, just his body language is showing you the antis are seething.
Anything anymore?
I wouldn't.
There are no rules.
How you gonna tell Kevin Smith no one knows anything anymore?
All right. Like the guy that's actually in the industry, that this is like his career, but he doesn't know anything. He don't know nobody important.
Crazy stuff with that, right? So very interesting that he said that. And this is a good point. We can bring some people in to give their comments on this restored thing as far as what Kevin Smith was talking about. So briefly, we're going to bring you up, like I said, just in the backstage, just kind of chill for a minute. We'll definitely get you up here, come in, kind of give your thoughts on the current topic that we're on, and then we'll just kind of keep it moving, right? So it's been a while since I opened up the panel. And I think the first time I opened up the panel, this gentleman probably was on that panel. CY98 on the panel. What's good with you, CY? if people don't know
Jules.
out there, what's up with you, man? If people don't know on Twitter, CY goes hard for the Snyderverse. Like for the 6 years
Damn
I've
right
been
I
doing
do.
this. Exactly. So shout out to you, CY. You've been a long time just supporter of my streams when you got a chance to hop in. And I just want to get your thoughts on this, man, what Kevin Smith's talking about.
Well, I mean, for starters, like you and Jules have said, I mean, Kevin Smith, he's literally good friends with the fucking Batman. So, I mean, it's not too far of a stretch to think, hey, maybe he met with Ben or Zach and they whispered to him a couple things or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not too crazy to think something like that happened. And I mean, and yeah, combine this with all of Zach's posting. Yeah, there's really, I think, no other way to take this than, it's coming back. It's fucking happening. Destiny arrives.
Jules, are we trying to temper this right now, or where are we at?
Always temper things until they're officially official. We still need the sale to go through. But yeah, chances are very freaking high. If this goes through, then yeah, we're basically there.
What about the Paramount angle, CY? And again, you see on social media, right? And I don't hide from this thing of, this Netflix energy out there, and obviously they lost a bid, right?
Right.
I think to be fair, CY, just to set you up properly, to be fair, I think all of us, that's me, Jules, you, viewers, if Netflix was going to get Warner Brothers and DC, Snyderverse, we would have hoped they would have restored it, right? But Paramount has the winning bid right now, and Kevin Smith said specifically Paramount merger, right, CY? So if you want to speak on that just a little bit.
Personally, while I was for Netflix on some level because of, them using ZSJL imagery in like that promotional bit, in that promotional image, there was a part of me that did always think Paramount would be the better choice for it. Not only because of it being guaranteed theatrical, pretty much because, some like Dark Side Coming to Earth, that needs to be seen on like full IMAX, but additionally, this has the backing of the Saudis, and to remind you, Snyder has that connection with them from Brawler, like literally Turkey al-Sheikh, and we want to talk big movie about UFC.
I mean, that's a real connection, right? Like all Snyder fans should see the obvious Brawler connection, and the fact that the Saudis, this same group, once this deal closes with Paramount and Warner Brothers, will be minority stake owners of Warner Brothers and namely DC. I mean, see why that's a clear connection right there.
Right.
Yeah,
right, exactly. So, exactly. Like, yes, they're not going to be the majority shareholders, but of course they're going to want to, have a say in how some of these things are going. And and so, if they're plotting, hey, so what do we want to do with DC? I don't think it's too much of a stretch to imagine that the Saudis will suggest, hey, you had this great guy that did DC before. Why not have him do another film or two?
No, for sure. And Jules, I mean, we probably say this weekly at this point, right, Jules? But the terms of the contract that the Saudis has, right? They actually can use DC IP.
Absolutely. I mean, they are not going to put in billions of dollars into this without having some semblance of control over something. And they get to choose whatever IP they want. Why wouldn't they choose this knowing that they're really good friends with Snyder? I mean, it makes sense. Yeah.
So it's per the terms of the contract. They can use an IP just like Abu Dhabi can use one. And Qatar, they all put in $8 billion a piece. And the terms of the contract, they can use these IPs. So, I mean, I think it's as clear as day with that. So we got a comment here. Now in the chat, I'm going to be highlighting obviously members' comments. Right. So appreciate what y'all, as far as y'all support overall. We got members Mondays. That stream is every Monday. I am going to be live Monday morning, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. That may be too early for a lot of y'all, so just catch the replay, members. So we'll talk again more about just the box office and any stories coming over the weekend. And if I'm hearing something, we give that to the members. But just want to point that out real quick. So I'm going to be highlighting members' comments. Obviously, super chats are appreciated. and then we'll try to get your thoughts. CY, before we let you go, let's read this comment here first, and then you can get your thoughts. We got Dave Miller, again, a member, much appreciated. Say, I'm not saying Snyder's return is confirmed, but conversations are absolutely happening. And with all the negative press around Gunn and DCU lately, Paramount has to be seeing this. CI, what do you think?
Paramount definitely has to be seeing, all the controversy and discussions, around how gun stuff isn't really connecting. I mean, hell, he himself is barely talking about it these days, outside of just dropping the trailers. I may or may not have been responsible for that with Twitter a few years ago.
May or may not.
They're definitely seeing this. So they're definitely going to be weighing their options. And I'm not going to lie, even if I was a DC fan, I would still be saying this. It doesn't look good for Supergirl. I mean, it's literally sandwiched between Toy Story and Minions.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey and Moana after Minions.
Like, this is the rundown. We probably do this every week at this point, Jules, just to just show Supergirl is in trouble. Toy Story coming out the 19th. Supergirl's first week is Toy Story 5. Second week, it's going to eat that up. And then Minions comes out July 4th week. It's Supergirl's in trouble.
Yeah. This is basically dead on arrival. Like, this movie is doomed. It's just the way that they decided to do everything around this movie. The date that they chose, like, it is. I'm sorry to say to Millie Alcock and the director Gillespie. I mean, he's screwed.
We gotta love her.
I'm just saying, I'm hoping for the best for this film.
It'll live on streaming, so you can just enjoy it there.
It will exist still.
It'll be there in like 4 weeks anyway.
That's tough. That's a tough sandwich right there. Final thoughts, CY, with this, and just DC overall, if you want, at this point.
Like you guys were saying, this film, it's pretty much screwed on arrival, which, I mean, I'd imagine is part of why we're only now starting to get trailers for it, because they're trying to hide, but they know they still technically have to do marketing for it as for DC as a whole. I think really Snyder is really the only thing that I think would get people back interested in it, at least not counting Batman stuff, because the Batman Part 2, that's definitely going to bring people in.
That's going to be big, I think. Yeah,
people watch Batman regardless of who's in it or what's happening. And the Penguin TV show just has given it extra legs that it would otherwise would not have had if it was just Robert Pattinson.
It won me over just in that world. I made no mistake of how I felt about the first Reeves Batman. It wasn't a Batman film to me. I really didn't like Pattinson's Batman. Yeah,
he's hands down the worst Batman ever. I think a lot of people are coming to terms with that. Like, his Batman resonated with no one. It's his supporting cast that made that universe. It's nothing to do with Robert Pattinson. Like, he's the weakest link.
The world itself is probably the most comic booky, and I mean this as a compliment, for a Batman film since the Tim Burton movies.
It's a great world. Like, I bought into Reeves' Gotham watching Penguin, and I was like, okay, I'm ready to give Part 2 a chance, right? So if supposedly he stepped up his game with the script that takes him 3 years to write, and so
at this rate he'll never finish the trilogy.
And Paramount would be like, bro, you take too long. Like, yo, let's just
we're moving on. Like, this is
wrap this up.
They're deliver after 5 years. That's all I'm saying.
But definitely, so we'll see how that comes about. Definitely, CY, much appreciated. I had to get you first on this panel, man, because like I said, you've been on just a long time, active on Twitter for Snyderverse. So anytime we open these up, man, if you find the time, hop in when you get a chance, man. So much appreciated.
Well, thanks, CY.
We'll do. Nice being here.
For sure. CY98, everyone. we had to go to the OG supporters. You know, we had to come up with CY with that. But I mean, and as far as anyone else in backstage, just be patient. We'll bring you in, and it'll be probably different topics, but you're welcome to give your thoughts on any of the topics. So I just want to let y'all know backstage. Also, too, if I really don't know you, you got to cam up, right? So I knew CY, but you know he cammed up. That was great. I see other people in the back. I know some of y'all really don't know. If we haven't talked before, go on and cam up. All right, much appreciated. So, Jules, as again, we kind of jumped to Supergirl, but we're not ready for this topic yet.
Right.
But you know, CY brought that up. But as far as again, just wrapping up the restore part of this, and I'll probably get more into this with the anti-Paramount stuff in a minute. But if Paramount, as Snyder fans, this may sound like a rhetorical question, but if Paramount is the one that's going to restore the Snyderverse, like I think we should be like, yo, you know, go do it, Paramount. If you're going to do it, I'm going to support it, right? I mean, that's kind of obvious, don't you think?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
I know it's such an obvious question. You're like, what? Like, and I'm like, no, like Paramount, if they're the driving force to restore the Snyderverse, you know, you have this Netflix crowd, you got other crowds and stuff, but it's about who's going to actually do the deed. So that's why we're saying we hope Paramount does it, because they're in the driver's seat, and now you got Kevin Smith saying, hey, they may do it.
I don't see. I mean, CY put up gave a great point. I think it was him who mentioned it. I mean, like these movies have done so badly since Snyder, and they have damaged the DC brand. And the only thing that can get people interested again is to bring back Snyder, because I mean, we'll talk. Everybody that talked so much crap during that time about Snyder and the Snyderverse, and then after he was gone, they were celebrating, right? And then the stuff that we got was slop after slop, crap after crap. It went super woke with a lot of stuff. They were trying to do an all-girls Justice League Batgirl movie it was so bad they had to do a tax write-off on it, right? And they were going to release that in theaters, and it looked like some CW production, probably worse actually.
Mm-hmm.
So like, people are just completely turned off on the brand, and now the general public, after seeing the Snyder cut, were like, wait, we had this is what we were going to get, like, damn, we messed up, like, we want more of this. Everybody was clamoring online for more. So the only way to really save this universe, even after like they brought in James Gunn, they thought he was a good name because what he did with the MCU and Guardians, but it didn't translate to box office success. So where else is there to go? Just bring the guy back that gave you guys billions of dollars.
Right. I mean, and this is about business. This is about what's successful. Right. And if we're trying to get back to big blockbuster films, this is what Paramount's promising. Again, this is just a promise. They do have to come through with this, with the Transformers, you know, what they want to do with that, revitalizing that, Ninja Turtles, DC, they want to take it to another level. So we're hearing what they're saying. They have to come through, but I like what I'm hearing, you know, with them overall. We got this comment here from Surviving Krypton, an obvious fan of Miliakaka, I'm assuming. It says, Snyder can do Elseworld movies. I would like to see the DCU continue. I'm not mad at this, Jules. Now, this may not speak for everyone, but I think with DC universe, multiverse, all these stories can happen as long as they're successful, is my point. You gotta perform to continue.
Right.
Snyder
So I want
it. So, yeah.
Perfect segue, because my thoughts are, I'm so sick and tired of hearing that the Snyderverse needs to be regulated to Elseworlds. Why does Snyderverse need to be Elseworlds when it's the only cinematic universe that actually brought in money for these IPs? Why can't the gun stuff be Elseworlds? It's not making any money. No one cares about it, and it looks like crap. That belongs on like a streaming platform, not in the big the silver screen, like in the in the movies. So I'm really sick and I'm getting sick and tired of that stuff. Snyder is the one that's bringing in money. That should be the real universe. And then they're going to end up doing the Crisis, where they're going to revamp and reboot everything anyway. So everything's going to get rebooted. We'll have a new Superman, new Batman, not Corin Sweat, not whoever they bring in to be Batman, if they even get that far. So I'm really getting tired of this whole Elseworld rhetoric. After Man of Tomorrow flops next year, this is all going to be gone anyway.
So, I think there's an angle for definitely all universes. Smash the like, make sure you subscribe. We had a Jules moment. But it's very interesting though, that whole Elseworld thing. You feel it's kind of like a slight to
A
Snyder.
little bit, because it's like, oh yeah, this is not the main universe. It's just this thing on the side. Like, no, this is what started everything. This is the main universe. Everything else is on the side. This Gunverse crap, that's on the side. That's just like you said, a placeholder universe just
What
to
it feels
get
like.
dollars into for the sale, and that's all it is. And if these movies continue to bomb, which we know Supergirl is going to bomb, like I don't care if the movie might be good. The thing that's going to kill it is the slate around it. Even if it's a great film, like it's just screwed on arrival just because it's sandwiched between Toy Story 5 and Minions, billion-dollar blockbusters. It's set up to fail. And then you have Man of Tomorrow, which people are already like disinterested in that Superman. So what are we really going to get from that? More crap, more slop. And then we're going to get Brown Lanterns coming up. Like, this is just going to leave bad after bad after bad sour taste in people's mouths.
It's all about the performance for sure. And with Superman, the domestic success of James Gunn Superman, but the lack thereof international success.
Right. Nobody wants this crap in China. That's probably the second biggest market. Nobody wants it. Nobody wants it in Latin America. Europe has completely, disengaged from the DC universe in general. Like all around the world, no one's watching it. It's just here in the States, and mostly here in the States is because, again, it's Superman. They were curious. They wanted to see what this new Superman was going to be like. People even went out and saw Superman Returns when it came out of curiosity. Did that get a sequel? No. Why? Because after the dust settled, they were like, you know what? That was boring. I don't like that. And everybody just moved on. And after Superman came out a few months later, everybody was kind of saying the same thing. You know what? In hindsight, that movie wasn't that great.
We're talking about James Gunn Superman?
Right. Yes.
Yeah. The stand power, because again, there's an interesting shift in DC fandom. I don't know if people realize this. We can all go back to, BVS that supposedly split the fandom, right? That's what they say. You have the antis really showed their faces when BVS came out. And then people like us, we love the mythic, gods among men, BVS.
The big scale story, yeah.
It holds up 10 years later so well. And
as we're seeing, people are still talking about it to this day. Even people that allegedly hate it, they're like, oh, I just rewatched Man of Steel. I saw this tweet like the other day. Oh, I just rewatched Man of Steel. Oh, Superman is so much better. So if you hate it so much, why do you keep rewatching it? It's been over 13 years.
Yeah, I did see that. He's like, oh, I hate Man of Steel, and I just rewatched it. It's like that still holds up. Man of Steel,
yeah.
I think correctly still give honor to the Donner films, but Man of Steel is right up there with your favorite Superman film, a quintessential origin story, Superman origin story.
Absolutely.
Overall. And so that holds up. BVS, again, is just this mythological wonder. The third act is insane. It's the greatest CBM film ever.
The thing that pisses me off and has always pissed me off is everybody complained about the lack of action in these these superhero movies. And Man of Steel literally delivered that. Like, you guys wanted action. We got like Dragon Ball Z type action between him and Zod. Then people had the nerve to turn around and say, oh my God, but all these buildings were destroyed. Metropolis was laid out. Like, what are you talking about? We all grew up watching Power Rangers. Did anybody have a problem when the Zords were literally fighting on top of Angel Grove? No.
but when it's Snyder's DC, again, it was that Jeff Johns pushing that anti-Snyder stuff back in the day because he wanted to take over.
That people just don't understand. There was a lot of politics going on behind the scenes. Again, like Jeff Johns, he wanted to be the Kevin Feige of the DC, and that obviously did not work. Like, he was big part of why the original Ryan Reynolds Green Lanterns failed.
No, for sure. I think he was the main reason why that fell short. So as far as, again, capping off the restore topic, I'm taking every sign as very literal, y'all. Like, that's where I'm at. It's not about inside scoop. I mean, once I hear something, I'll definitely, I'll put down on the headline. It's back, but I'm taking Zack Snyder's activity. I'm taking people in the industry like Kevin Smith. I'm taking this very seriously, y'all. And I think we have a shot of really getting this. That's just where I'm at.
Yeah.
With this overall. So
I honestly think there's already handshake deals already kind of said and done. They just need to wait for this to go to close, wait for Gunn to finish out his films, and because again, politics and all that, and then they'll eventually announce it.
For sure. I guess it's a good point to bring another person backstage here. Raven in the backstage. If you're ready, I don't know if you got your camera on, or you don't need your camera on because I know you. But I'm going. Okay, you got your camera on. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna bring you up. Okay, you don't have it. It's all good. I'm gonna bring you up. I want to get your thoughts just again on this first segment we were talking about, and we'll go forward from there. We got Raven on the panel. What's good with you, man?
What's up, Raven?
What's up, Jules? So yeah, so when I saw the Kevin Smith, excuse me, I'm kind of sick still, but so I saw the Kevin Smith thing, and
Mhm.
so my first thought was, like, if you rewatch the video and you like you said the context, he doubled down on it, like even the what's his name, the other guy was he finally was like, yeah, maybe, like you could even the other guy, fuck it, fine, I'll consider it, like, you know. Like if it was like, oh, he just won back, he probably wouldn't even said anything. But he doubled down. Like that's why it's like, okay. And
Yeah, he said it
if you
twice. Not
notice
to
Kevin
sorry.
Smith,
Mhm.
and then even just I don't know if I actually watch a lot of the Kevin's. I don't watch it a lot, but I've seen Kevin Smith talk over the years. Right, he doesn't actually like, especially recently, he doesn't say things for no reason. Like he like the way he used to act like 10 years ago is vastly different now. So when he's saying things like that, like when he was speaking about lanterns, he really wanted to call that shit trash. If you noticed, like
Yeah,
Seemed
yeah.
I'm gonna be
disinterested.
honest,
He was
he
not
was
interested.
holding his tongue.
Oh, if you saw that stream, like you saying, Raven, like they were both of them were just like, lanterns. Like they didn't like that trailer, bro.
And it's a matter of like Kevin Smith can't do it because he doesn't want to shit on Gunn because that it's his job like in the media and to be like politically correct, but he knows that shit's trash. So and even too, if you remember in the video, like the actual video, the whole like the real important part was that like he was like think bigger, not just think about, oh, we're gonna see that Green Lantern. That's when Kevin says like he like said think bigger than just the Green Lantern aspect of it. No, like this shit's coming back. That's why I thought it was very interesting when he was like, okay, yeah, when he made that comment. And like I said, if you watch his face, he really wanted to say more. I think, but yeah,
He said a
he
lot with
obviously
just
he
that
can't.
bit.
Yeah, yeah. With him saying, yeah. When Mark Bernard was like, oh, who knows, man, who knows? F. Snyder, and Kevin Smith was like, hey, I wouldn't discount it. I wouldn't discount this. So I'm
Yeah,
going
and
off
he's
that, man.
and he champions the fans. Like he's even responded to me. I mean, not like directly like ZSJ2, which is what we also want, but he responded to me when I was because I'm really into the haircut, obviously. Like that's
Mhm.
primarily my push at the moment. And he responded like, "Oh, I want to screen it if I can. I would screen it for David Ayer and all that." I don't know if you remember that, like last year or whatever.
Mhm.
Like he
Mhm.
wanted to do it at his theater or whatever. So
Well,
yeah, he
he,
champions the
he
fans.
screened the Schumacher cut. There's still weirdos out there saying the Schumacher cut doesn't exist. Like Kevin Smith screened it at his theater in Jersey.
Yeah, the problem is Warner Brothers just convinced fans that, and again, I'm hoping Paramount changes this, that whatever set canon they believe in, that's how DC and that canon should be. That's goofy because in comics you have multiple universes, you have Rebirth, New 52. It's goofy as fuck, and that's to me. I'm hoping that this new company understands that overall DC is bigger than one guy's vision. James
Mhm.
Gunn. To me, I've said this. It's one of my favorite tweets I've ever made. Actually, I think James Gunn. I said this like 2 years ago, and I'm saying this again now. He's gonna set DC back decades, and I think he already has.
Mm.
If this is if we continue with this route of Batman and Robin level, and I know you like that movie still, but I'm sorry, that movie's ass.
That was Cap. Yeah, that's all good.
But yeah, I mean he's really like setting DC back, and we need to get rid of this goofy campy because over time we've seen this. Tim Burton does well, Nolan does well. Snyder does well. I like Joel Schumacher, Batman Forever. I don't like Batman and Robin, but even that, like that was too far from what I want in Batman. I think the Schumacher cut might be better personally. I still want to see it in general because
Yeah.
yeah. People, all the time people are like, oh, like what if the Ayer cut or Schumacher cut suck? I'm like, who cares? Like,
Well, they try to say that about the Snyder cut. If people remember, like leading up, there's like, oh, so you finally got the cut. Is it going to be good? I'm like, bro, this is
Yeah.
Zack Snyder's
It was a
vision. What are we talking
worldwide
about?
phenomenon. Like, yeah, it was good as
Yeah.
fuck. What are you talking about? Sorry about that.
What are we saying with that? Jules, what's your thought with that? What Raven just said, he feels Gunn is
Yeah.
setting back DC. You think it's that far?
Hell yeah. I mean, I said it a little bit earlier, a few minutes ago, and I've been saying it for like the past year. Like, if you continue with this campy mess, like we're retreading, right? We're going backwards with the whole genre in general, right? Like, we were getting a bunch of campy nonsense in the 90s and the 2000s, right? Which was, we were happy because we got anything. We didn't have anything before, so from nothing to something was all right, fine. We settled for it. But after we got Nolan and everybody started going more to the more serious route, and we got more films of actual quality, and it wasn't a joke anymore, you know, then finally like the superhero genre had some respect. But then now here you have Gunn taking it backwards to that campy mess, and it's just again just going to lower the standards of the movie. Like, we're not getting cinema anymore. Now we're just getting like a cheap popcorn flick, you know, for the summer that's here today, gone tomorrow.
And Jules, yeah, you know, I think it's important to remember. I mean, box office doesn't lie. If you look at the WB's
Right.
top grossing films ever, you know, for the most part, all majority of them, like the Nolan films, the Byrne films, if you adjust for inflation, even you know the Donner film, the first one, which
Mm-hmm.
isn't like it's not campy, but it's like you know it's a
For
little
the
bit different.
for the
But
time, yeah.
yeah, for the time, but like overall, like you know, if you look at this box office, even like the first Joker, right? Guess what? That was serious. That made a bunch of money. Even like
Mm-hmm.
the studio cut of Suicide Squad, all those Wonder Woman,
Exactly.
those
Yep.
films made a lot of money, and they took the characters seriously, not a joke.
Yep.
And
Mm-hmm.
you see box office results when you do goofy, campy bullshit. Gun, Suicide Squad, Bomb, Superman. You know, they can say it made a profit. Personally, for me, I don't
Barely.
think it.
It's red
I don't
line.
think.
Yeah.
I don't think movies. I don't think investors put millions and millions of dollars to make a profit off like oh, we have this and this plane and this and that. That's not why people put money. They don't make excuse me. They don't make movies to make barely a profit. That's not how it works. That's how I know Gunn is gonna get canned because barely making a profit. Like I'm being honest here, I don't think Gunn has made any profit for Warner Brothers so far,
I think
and
he's
that's
lost
that.
that money.
I think even going back with the reboot announcement, I've told Sil this, right? If Gunn was serious and he knew what he was doing, why would you announce a reboot before four DCU films came out? I think that was purposely tanking those films on purpose,
Mm.
Yeah,
like
we know the
sabotaging those films.
sabotage. Yep, absolutely. We were outspoken about that on the stream.
Yeah,
So
no, yeah,
yeah,
it definitely wasn't a well placed announcement at all. Yeah.
I mean those films were all still trash. But then you also even like cut up those films. Think about it, right? If you were like allegedly cared about the fans and DC and stuff, at the very least, you should have kept those cameos in because you're rebooting anyway. At least those fans can have a better send off than with the garbage we got. Like that Flash shit, the George Clooney is a joke. Like that he shouldn't have been in that film, bro. I'm sorry. Uh, you know,
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Aquaman, you had two. Explain this to me. Aquaman, you had two different Batman cameos. You got none of them. You got Orm eating a cockroach. That was a joke. Like,
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
was a
I
it's
joke.
mean, we also know
ridiculous.
that Gunn gave it a lot of notes on Aquaman
Yeah.
too. Also, like I
Aquaman,
think James
Flash,
Lynn
yeah.
was the director, right? Is he couldn't be
James
he
Wan,
James
couldn't
yeah.
Wan.
James
hmm
Wan, yeah, he couldn't wait
hmm
to be over and done with that movie. As soon as it wrapped, he was on to the next project. Like he didn't
He's
even
like,
want.
I'm out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that
how
was a
Even
mess.
remember Todd Phillips was like, "Fuck this, bro. I'm gonna like." Because I like Joker too. I actually like it better than the first one, but I know a lot of people didn't. But I remember he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna like give the biggest fuck you to Warner Brothers."
Joker 2, I still feels a lot of over hate for Joker 2.
it's just the musical aspect to it. I think that killed it.
That turned people off. Probably. I mean,
I'm not
hey,
watching a musical. I
the
really
general
wanted to
audience,
watch
you know.
Joker 2, but I was like, I'm not watching no damn
Oh,
musical.
I saw early screening opening in
Mhm.
IMAX. So I was. I mean, like I said, I like. It's not like it's different, right? So it's like the music for me. I don't mind music. I just if it's like a Disney singing movie, then that's different. But I didn't feel like that's the case. So I enjoyed it for what it was. If you
Mhm.
don't think it's better than the first one, that's your opinion. Like for me, I think it is. But again, I enjoyed it. I just like that version of Joker in the
I
world.
mean, yeah, it's a film that I will watch, probably not like every month, but like it's, I like the first one better on that aspect, but it's in my rotation. Joker 2 is
And
pretty
that
Yeah.
good.
was talking about Elseworlds. That was a true Elseworlds film because it's not
Yeah.
connected to anything. So that's a real
Mhm.
Elseworlds film,
Well,
and it's
Yeah.
fine
see
if you
that.
want if you like it. If you don't like it, it doesn't matter because it's a standalone thing.
Mhm.
Just add one more thing, Jules. 'Cause I want to let you guys go on to the next person or whatever. Is that's another thing with DC, right? You know, I know you kind of spazzed on that person. You kind of mean about it, but overall, James Gunn says he believes in DC and Elseworlds, but like, if we're being honest here, right? That is a bold-faced lie. If we're like, let's like use common sense here, right? The Batman he couldn't cancel because that made too much money, and that's
Hmm.
that wasn't gonna happen. Like, no one's gonna allow that. But anything Elseworld, if you notice, we were supposed to get the Erica. That was still confirmed that. I know people behind the
Mhm.
scenes that it was gonna come out. That
Yeah.
was canned. He doesn't believe in Elseworlds. Let me rephrase that again. He's the only Elseworld that he does is stupid TV shows for children that no
Hmm.
one wants to watch. I
He's
remember he
not.
greenlit
Yeah.
some Titan show for like children. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about this. And I love Raven and Titans, bro.
To be
He's not
clear,
I'm not gonna
greenlighting
watch that
anything
shit.
that could impact his success,
right.
or anything that might impact his own universe. Like, he's
That was
protecting his own.
on James Gunn. He stopped Ayer Cut coming out because it was momentum behind the scenes. The person that actually saw the cut, they were saying Ayer thought he was really about to get it out there, and James Gunn comes in and says, I'm not. I don't want to put it out right now because I want to get my world going. That's a real thing. James Gunn stopped the Ayer Cut from coming out. That's pretty much confirmed at this
And
point.
so one thing that bothered me that you kept saying was, "Oh, give him time." I'm like, bro, he's been there for 4 or 5 years, bro.
Well,
I'm
that's what
I'm,
he
I'm not
said.
trying to hear that, bro. No, I know, but I remember you told me that one time like on a space.
Mhm.
You're like, "Oh, he'll do it, but just give him time." I'm like, bro, it's been 4 or 5 years and he's done nothing. And I say, and I made this last point to you. I'm gonna make this last point.
Mhm.
He could have released it during the Joker too because that was the only DC film coming out that year. That was like the perfect time.
For
If
sure.
you remember, there was no other DC films coming out. He doesn't care about air like. And again, those fans that were saying we're giving him death threats, this and that never happened, by the way. But it's just that they only care like they use air like his air cut so like I remember like the whole him supporting Superman thing, right? They only
Mhm.
use that against Snyder fans as like some gotcha where I don't know if you remember that like Air allegedly got attacked and people were like pushing this agenda
Right.
and people were like just we didn't really like his approach, but we never like shit on Air or think he's like a bad person or whatever.
No,
And I
Snyder
reason why I
fans
bring
didn't attack Ayer. I don't care yet what any trade tried to pick up. We didn't attack Ayer directly.
Yeah, I haven't
yeah,
seen
it
anything
just
negative from the Snyder fans towards Air. If
Yeah.
anything, they're all in the same boat.
It was about Gunn and just to be clear, Raven, to get that's what Ayer said directly. Give James Gunn time. So I was going off what Ayer was saying publicly. He was like, "Hey, actually, I don't know if he said publicly, but he was saying it's different accounts like the old Cut Ayer. He changed his name now on Twitter, but
yeah,
Ayer
Jesse, I
actually,
know him.
yeah, he talked to him about it in DMs, and so I was just going off what Ayer was saying, like, "Hey, give Gunn time." Just to be clear, why my
Yeah.
stance was like that is because that's what Ayer was saying.
I just think it's poetic that he's about to get canned, right, Gun, and it's 10-year anniversary. He's been there for 5 years now. Absolutely nothing. Because I remember, like, I was being told, just wait, give him time. Like, you're an hater. Like, let Guns World breathe. I gave him 5 years, bro, and he lost his job, bro. So it is what it is, bro. But again, karma's a
Yeah.
bitch. I always say that good people. I'm gonna end with this. I think good people always win. I think Ayer's a good
Mhm.
guy,
Mhm.
and I think James Gunn is a piece of shit. And it is what it is.
It is what it is, Raven. Appreciate you coming through, man.
Thanks, Raven.
Again, we're gonna be opening up these panels probably like every other week. So you're more than welcome to jump back in sometime, man.
Yeah, and I just want to jump off
Mm-hmm.
what Raven mentioned about not releasing the Air cut. Even though James Gunn was trying to get his universe off the ground, again, if he did release the Air cut, that would have just riled everybody back up and started clamoring for that universe to be
Yeah.
restored again. He was not about to risk that because that would have completely just sabotaged his universe that didn't get off the ground yet. Not saying that I'm pro it or against it, but just common sense, that was definitely not happening at that time.
Definitely. So that's where we're at with that. Final
Hey,
word,
Jules,
Raven?
Mhm.
oh, yeah, I was just gonna say, and two, if he was really, because I'm gonna use this thing. Do you remember he was like saying he had some slogan, "Honor the past, respect the future," some dumbass shit.
Oh yeah.
If you remember that, that would have like to me, you can't use that, right? But you're not even trying to build back the fan. Like to me, that would have went a long way with the fans. Like okay, like maybe I would have went to go support Superman. I probably wouldn't have either way, but that would have made me look like okay, maybe he's trying here to like bridge the gap. Because
Or he
to me,
could have.
as
Sorry,
sorry,
he could have at
no,
least he could at least like announce a future date for Ayer cut to come out,
Yeah.
not just dismiss it altogether. Like,
That would have been
all right,
goodwill.
once his Superman movie came out, all right, we're gonna drop Ayer cut like in over Christmas or something like that. Like that never happened. So he completely lost any trust in the fans at that point when he just completely disregarded it.
Definitely. And now we're left. Now it's another regime change coming, and it's going to be up to the new bosses. Without
Ayer's out
minus
Paramount
one.
already. So
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot going on with that. So I appreciate you again, Raven. We'll talk to you soon, man.
Thanks, Raven.
Take care.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff there. Again, those backstage, just hang tight. We're going to get to the next topic here, but you can give your thoughts with anything. Yeah.
Let me just address something real quick, because I know Raven said what I talked about elsewhere was mean. I was not directing that rant towards that person, that individual. I was just ranting about the comment of relegating Snyderverse to Elseworlds in general. So it was nothing against that commentator. It was just about the term itself.
I think that was a fair. I mean, obviously, we all got our own opinions here, so that shouldn't hurt anyone's feelings out there. But I think that's a fair assessment, saying, "Hey, why have Zack have the all shoot thing? You know, maybe what's more successful should be the primary story. You know,
what's more successful, and it came first. So you have two things going for it versus there's not much going for the Gunverse. I'm sorry, I know he has a few fans out there, but it is what it is. Like, the numbers don't lie.
That's just where we're at with that. And let's get to the next topic here. And of course, Restore will be sprinkled probably throughout the whole conversation today. But we had an interesting Good Friday. Jules, Zack Snyder got a little active on social media. Now, one thing, you got some people saying they're kind of watching Zack Snyder's activity on Instagram, like if he doesn't post every day, DC, they get worried. It's like, let's calm down first. Like, Zack's not going to post every single day. But when he does, it seems like, Jules, since we saw the ZSJL anniversary countdown, like, Zack is doing like meaningful posts. Like, it's something behind, when he chooses to post, in my opinion. Right. So this was yesterday, Zack Snyder opened up it was like afternoon, like it was probably like early afternoon for him. It was probably like 1-2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He just drops a Trinity picture just for no reason, Jules. He just dropped
reason at all.
He just drops stuff on us, and this just disproves again. A lot of people was like, well, when Paramount won the bid, allegedly for Warner Brothers, then Zack stopped posting DC. Well, again, we see he's been very active, with his posts, right? So that's one thing. This is a great shot right here. And the funny thing, when he posts this, Jules, people online was like, okay, not sure the symbolism with this. We're approaching Easter weekend. We thought we'll have some kind of parallel with the whole Christ parallel, right? And Zack didn't disappoint, right? He drops this later on yesterday evening, basically parallel. This seems like the concept sketch of the end of BVS at the death of Superman. They let him down, paralleling the famous art of Christ being let down after his death. What'd you think with this, Drew? This is just insane.
I'm getting chills just looking at it. This is beautiful artwork. And Zack has never been one to shy away from the religious symbolism. Some people hate it, but again, it's just people that love to hate just to hate. Like, they can't stand that people actually believe in something. Throughout all different mediums, it's not even just Superman. Snyder has done religious themes even in his Twilight of the Gods TV show. Like, that was like a big thing, right? Like, it hit the media really hard once that episode came out. But Superman has been entrenched with the Jesus ideology and imagery since his inception, right? Like, I don't know if that was the main goal of the creators, but that's what it became over time. So you really can't be mad that the symbolism is still being used today. And I love that Zack just leans into it, because again, it's just beautiful visuals, and Larry Fong with so much amazing cinematography throughout BVS. And don't be surprised to get a Superman Resurrection post from Zack tomorrow on actual Easter Sunday.
Yeah, that's what we're kind of, the fact that Zack dropped this on Good Friday, and then as we know what's written during the third day, that's when, in a sense, Christ rose. That's when Superman is brought back, by this concept, right? And so I think it's very clear what Zack Snyder's tipping off here, that he's going to post something Sunday. Long story short,
absolutely, yeah. And then for people that really want to, like, conspiracy theorists that really want to dig into it, like this Snyderverse resurrection at the same time. I don't think we're there yet, but I'm sure some people will try to put those pieces together.
So it's like a third layer here. Like Jules is like, we're going deep, as the homie Peely would say. Like there's layers to what Zach's doing. Yes, he's posting DC, and that's fun, memory lane. Obviously, there's some symbolism here, and then Jules is saying, like, let's go just full on 4D, like the resurrection of the Snyderverse. Hey, I'm with it. I dig it. That's some good stuff here. We got Dave Miller saying Gunn is awfully quiet in the face of all the rumors of his departure. This is a good point here. Gunn has an itchy Twitter finger. Why is he so quiet? I think he'll be gone at the end of his contract, if not sooner. Jules, we've been saying this, and I know I've been taking off a lot of Gunn guzzlers. This isn't inside information that I'm saying with this James Gunn contract information. I know there's other outlets, they want to lean on what they're hearing. I'm just saying, me and you, Jules, are saying Gunn, he had a 4-year contract originally from 2022, October. It was due to end October 2026. He got an extension just for 6 months to April 2027. I think it's a wrap.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely, Dave. Like, we all know Gunn has an itchy Twitter. That boy was online every day on Twitter, all day, every day, to the point people were like, bro, don't you have a script to write? Like, what you doing on here arguing with people all day? Right? Like, literally every day he was nonstop. And then all of a sudden, Superman came out. Didn't do that great. Peacemaker flop. That other animated show that he had flop. Nobody even knew it came out. Whatever. Everything that he did just was not working. And slowly but surely, he started tweeting a lot less. And then now it seems like he's gone completely dark since he got that short contract extension back in December, or whenever that was, November.
Yeah, it was December, yeah.
And we have not heard from him since. Or he's done a little bits here and there just to promote his projects, but he's definitely not on and not as confident as he used to be back then when he first got the job.
For sure. I mean, and like everyone's saying, Gunn, he is never shy trying to dispel something or debunk something, or have like one of his burners ask him a question and he answers himself to debunk something. Like Gunn has been doing that for 4 years now.
Right.
And now, right, he's very, very quiet about this contract situation, Paramount coming in, supposedly. I think that means something.
He hasn't addressed it at all. And we all know he's quick, like you said, Sil, to call people out when they are allegedly wrong about something. I mean, he's even commented under your posts before. So
yeah, he's coming to me. I think a couple of times. And I'm gonna bring up when we get to Supergirl. I don't think Gunn came at me, but I think he sent his army after me. I'll talk about that.
The bots, although like his monkey bots.
He sent his army after me, and we're gonna talk about that in a little bit. But because Gunn, I think Gunn realizes if he comes at me directly, it's just going to make me money on Twitter at this point. So it's like, so he's just like, I don't even want to give this dude any shine, but he still blew up my post because his army came at me. I'll fill y'all in on my latest skirmish with the Gunners. We got CY here with the super chat. Again, he was on the panel earlier. He says, Superman in front of the sun from ZSJL with the caption, he has risen for tomorrow's post. So
that's the image I had in mind. Yep.
In the chat, what are y'all thinking? We know the fact, again, as Snyder fans, we know it's layers every time Zach posts. So we know something's coming Sunday. We don't have to explain that too much to Snyder fans. So what will he actually show? I do like that idea, Jules, having charging up the sun.
Yeah.
After his resurrection.
I hope it's the artwork or the storyboard artwork and not just a still from the film, because I could just imagine how beautiful that artwork must look.
That's a dope idea, because we got this concept art right here again. Yep. Batman Lane, and man, I always go back to that opening night with BVS. Like it was so intriguing. The dialogue of BVS was intriguing. The first 2 acts of the film, I was locked in.
It was too mature for some people.
it was very mature. It's a very adult approach, and really, one crescendo in the film, one high point in the film, was when it was at Lex party. It was just Clark and Bruce talking, and that was a powerful scene.
It really was.
You know what I'm saying? And
like you felt the tension.
Yeah, it was perfect, and just like Ben was just like perfectly looking like Bruce Wayne from the animated series, like in that scene. Like, I love that scene. But then Zach goes to the third act, and he's like, "I'm gonna turn your brain up to like 20."
Oh my god! As soon as you heard those drums beating, oh my god, that was
insane.
Wonder Woman's entrance has to be the greatest entrance, probably. Like,
I think it's the greatest
of all time, like in movie history. It's not even just superhero movies. It was just absolute perfection from the music to the cinematography to like everything about it, like the color palette. It was just
the only thing I would say, if people want to argue like another CBM moment, the Endgame portal moment was pretty special. That culmination.
It was nowhere near.
I'm just saying, just double.
It was a cool moment, but it wasn't as epic as like Wonder Woman. Because again, just like all of your senses were tingling when Wonder Woman came out. Like, they hit everything. The portal thing was just like, oh yeah, cool, we got this, and this bunch of portals.
That's like a nice moment.
It was a feel good moment. Whereas Wonder Woman was like, oh shit, like this shit hit the thing.
Well, because
spectacle.
When it happened, like, okay, like third act again, you got with the that Congress building explodes, right? And so Bruce gets that letter from Lex, you let your family die, right? Batman vs Superman happens right there. The fight happens. You get the Dark Knight Returns armor. Like, you're like, okay, let's go. Like, we were waiting this whole movie for this fight,
right? And the second act was kind of slow. So like when things really picked up in the third act, it really like got your blood pumping.
Yeah, and so that happens. That fight happens. Then you have the Martha moment, which again, I like that concept. Their moms both named Martha, and you're ready to go. You're like, okay, this third act is getting crazy. Warehouse scene, crazy. He saves Martha, insane. Then you get Doomsday.
It was like nonstop.
It's like, what are you doing, Zach? Like, what are you doing to my brain, bro? And then you're just thinking, okay, Doomsday got the jump on Batman. Like, is he about to vaporize Batman? And that's when Wonder Woman jumps in.
Yeah.
And the music comes in. I'm like, this is insane.
And then the great, like, oh, is she with you? Like, no, I thought she was with you line. Like, oh. Like, it was perfect.
Perfect moment. So after all that, you get to this imagery, this concept art after the death of Superman. And you just have like just this biblical moment, you got it instantly when Superman died and you let him down. If you pay attention to art and things like that and culture and history. And I'm just like, man, like Zach is like clowning on this film, bro. And so he just stamps it home. So I'm saying all this to say, I do agree with your concept art idea for Sunday. Give us the original concept art of Superman going up with the black suit, charging up in the sun. He's risen. That'd be wonderful.
Let's hope we get it. That would be great.
That'd be great stuff right there. Appreciate you, CY, again, for your continued support. And we'll do the epic drop. Good stuff. Good stuff. In the chat, we're as far as in the backstage, we're going to get someone up in just a minute here. Uzaru, in just a minute here. Just have your camera ready. We'll pop you in here in just a second to get your thoughts on Good Friday and Restore or whatever you want to kind of chime in with. But let me just catch up with the chat real quick, then we'll get you on in just a second. Just wanted to give you a heads up. Literally my favorite shot in the film. That's why I did it, CYC. We're connected. We know what you like, man. That's why I did the drop. And this is a good reminder. Smash the like. Make sure you subscribe. We're about to continue with the topics, and let's get Uzaru on the panel here. As soon as this thing drops, you'll be on the screen here. Snyderverse Rises will be a great drop for Sunday. So, speaking of all things, again, with this WB Paramount Saudis DC connection, Uzaru, what's good with you, man? I see you down there.
What's good? Yeah. Can you see me?
Yes, we can see you. Maybe your camera's probably okay. Yeah. But it's all good. first off, welcome to the panel. Never had you on the panel before.
Yeah, I
just-
love the
very
name.
new here.
What's your thoughts with
thank you.
everything, man?
Well, yeah. What I love about Kevin Smith, what he hinted at about Snyderverse returning. Kevin Smith, he's not like a random YouTuber. He's not like an ex-post or anything. This guy's like very deep in the scoop of like Hollywood comic media.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows his name in that. So like, I don't understand all these people who are knocking his rumors down when like he's in the know. He's very, very good friends with everyone in like who we know, even Gunn. He's friends with Gunn, Affleck, Zack Snyder and everything. So I don't understand why people don't take his word as like maybe there is something to this. It's pretty obvious to me that if Kevin Smith's saying this, maybe we should think about maybe the Snyderverse is coming back. Hopefully, because I'm a Snyder fan.
For sure. So people, you got the counter intelligence out there, the anti saying like, oh
Zarya's in Dragon Ball.
Snyder fans are reaching again and things like that. We're just going off like you just said. We're going off what Kevin Smith is saying.
Information. We're going off of information, but not just from him too. We get these hints from Zack Snyder all the time. Ever since he joined Instagram, which was like around the same time that there was conversations of Gunn's universe sort of not going the way that people think it's going. So even that was pretty cryptic in itself.
Yeah.
And I love seeing it. I love seeing it.
What did you think of you mentioned Zack Snyder's IG activity since last fall, and he really went hard for the ZSJL anniversary. Like, was that giving you any hints that Zack?
Everybody knows the 214 thing. So I mean that's pretty obvious. And he did that. Was it like 6 months before it dropped? Yeah. So I mean, in my opinion, I don't want to reach, but I just love the hope. I love the hope.
But Zack is Zack giving us that, and I think we know Zack knows his fandom, right? So the fact that he started an Instagram account and timed it so his 214th post was the 5th anniversary of ZSJL, I can only take that one way, man.
And they say this man can't write. That's a story in itself. Make it a documentary. Come on.
For sure.
But like, what do I think about the posts? I love how controversial they've been in the DCU community, because they get really rabid when it comes to talk about the Snyderverse in general. Like, not even just talking about the restore, like the movement. Just any talk about the Snyderverse makes them see red. And I love it.
Why do you think that? Why do you think that this makes them nervous?
Because they have this idea that their version of Superman is the only sole property that needs to be on film. And that's completely wrong mentality, because Superman has had multiple variations in the comics.
Yeah. I think like you were saying, Jules, that maybe they do feel threatened, like they want Zack to be this Elseworlds thing, but I mean Zack just may be the main thing with DC, Jules.
That's the main universe. That's the main universe to the general audience. Again, when Superman first came out, the first thing the normies were asking, where's Henry? They want Henry. Henry is their Superman. You still saw a bunch of pictures everywhere and people posting GIFs of Henry as Superman. So yeah, they're in denial. I mean, I don't know what else to say without pissing people off, but it is what it is.
Too late. That's right. But so let's get your thoughts, Uzaru, on this question before we transition. This comment, I should say. My Superman says he agrees as far as the portal scene in Endgame. Me and Jules just had a disagreement. I was saying, obviously, the Wonder Woman entrance is the greatest CBM moment I felt in theaters, but I just argue Endgame may be a close second or arguably as great. What do you think, Uzaru?
In just comic book movies?
Yeah, as far as CBM, yeah.
Damn, that's a lot. I mean, obviously, Endgame is just incredibly iconic because of the build-up of years over the phases, and that's a very, very hard one to top. And it's crazy how ZSJL, the Flash reversing time, is can sort of rival that.
That's
But
an
obviously,
Oscar
I don't
moment.
feel like it has the same weight, but it's definitely up there.
Between the two, obviously, we love the Oscar-winning Flash moment. I still put Wonder Woman over that Wonder Woman entrance.
Yeah, and I will say that Batman versus Superman was able to accomplish with that one scene what it took Marvel a decade to accomplish with that portal scene.
Actually, you're right. That Wonder Woman scene, it's so small, but it's so impactful. Like just that, doof, and then
Yeah. Like I said, like
it's
all
so
of your
good.
senses were stimulated at that moment.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you
because
perked
like
up.
Flash had a whole sequence, whereas that entrance was so quick, but you understood who that was. You understood, like you felt the power, and I love that.
It's great movie making too, because like literally, you got Batman, he's crashing, he's like, oh shit, like, and it just out of nowhere, Wonder Woman, it's like, bro,
and the music plays.
Yeah, it's like, oh my goodness.
I mean, honestly,
and
Wonder
we
Woman probably
knew
has
she was
the best
coming
theme.
in. Yes,
We knew she was
did.
coming. We didn't know when.
Right.
Yeah, we knew she was coming in, but it still felt like, whoa, she's here. Everyone thought it was Superman.
Right. That was a great moment. Yeah, it's a great moment overall, man. So for sure. I think we agree at least on that. Uzari, final thoughts before we rotate here?
I mean, I knew Gunverse was like cooked when the reaction of the first Superman image dropped. It was so controversial. Like people didn't. It was tilting to people hated it more than people liked it. Remember when he was sitting down putting his boots on when that first image dropped?
Oh yeah,
it was looking like nobody was rocking with the DCU from then.
People were complaining that it looked like AI.
Yep, that was the birth of the gun glazers. That was they just started attacking everybody who was critiquing legit critiques.
It was such an anticlimactic first picture. I remember that. I was just like, that's it. Like, and
I mean,
I'm
if you put it up against,
everything.
if you put that up against like our first look at Superman,
Henry Cavill's one,
Man of Steel, in front of that vault, like it
was iconic.
It would people still replicate it till this day. In our
That's why that was it. Absolute Superman artist who just did a rendition of it.
Yes,
right.
Yeah.
Oh, could I say one more thing?
Go ahead, sir.
Snyderverse is a film media, not a comic book media. These are two different things. You can't critique it like a comic book because it's a film. That's what people need to understand as well.
But also going back to what you said earlier, like there's so many different iterations in these comic books. You can't point at one and be like, oh, that's a comic book movie. Like, what does that even mean? Because there's so many different genres within comics that you can't just be like, oh, you can't assume that campy and colorful is comics because we're not in the 50s and 60s when that was a thing. Like comics have evolved so much more since then.
And there's a reason it was more successful than, the Gunverse.
Hey, we just go by results here. So definitely appreciate you.
Thanks, Uzaru.
Coming
Appreciate you having me on.
Yeah, for sure. We'll probably do this like once or so a month. So, again,
I mean, it's like 3 a.m. in Australia. So I don't.
Oh, damn. Thanks for staying up.
Representing, very dedicated. We've got more to talk about. So as long as you're awake, stay tuned.
Yeah, we'll see. Bye.
Take care, man. Thank you. All right. Good stuff. Good comments so far. Again, if there's people that's saying, hey, I'm not looking forward to this Paramount thing, you're all welcome to join the panel as well and give your thoughts. We can have an echo chamber. That's cool too, but we're good with other opinions as well too. So with that, very interesting. Again, Good Friday. Now we're waiting for something interesting tomorrow from Zack Snyder. Right. So let's jump ahead here to get to this anti-Paramount propaganda, Jules. I'm just seeing, everyone had their favorites with this Warner Brothers sale. Me and you covered it pretty much the whole step of the way when it looked like Netflix was going to come up with it. And then Paramount, we were still saying like, we wish Paramount would have got it, but if Netflix is going to get it, we just hope the best. Just good luck. So then things have kind of flipped where, it looked like Netflix was going to get it, right?
Hold up, stop, wait, reverse the tape.
It was Paramount. Paramount came in and stole it from Netflix. Netflix bowed out they lost. They lost the bid. It's okay. And I thought we was done talking about Netflix, but it's been this continued rhetoric saying they become anti-Paramount, and it's a little weird to see that type of energy.
It's really stupid and a waste of energy, honestly, because this is happening. Get with the program. If not, then hop off, go jump into something else. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
We want the best for Zack Snyder, and if Netflix, and I don't mind saying this every week, but if Netflix was actually pushing Zack Snyder projects now, I would be more positive about Netflix right now. And since they're not, and since they lost the bid, this is kind of what sums up our view of Netflix and the influencers on this show.
So you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. Sir, I said good day.
It's over. Netflix, okay?
That's literally how I feel every time we talk about these Netflix idiots. It's just like, bro, come on. It's done.
It's a wrap, okay? It's over. So that's just where we're at. But it's still this anti-sentiment out there. Now I'm seeing people, they taking these bad headlines and trying to say, oh, is this a negative for Paramount? Here's an example here, and we probably saw this one before, but they retweeted it today. CBR.
Oh my God, this rage bait nonsense.
This is total rage bait, saying, well, Paramount, they promised 30 theatrical releases per year. Looking at the slate next year, Jules, they may be lying. Maybe they can't do 30 films. What do you think?
Oh my God, they need to make 30 films in like 3 months in order to hit this goal for 2027 as soon as the deal closes. Get real, CBR. Like, you guys are just being complete like rage baiters right now, looking for engagement. This is completely disingenuous because for a fact that they have no control over the 2027 slate at this particular moment. They have to literally get through the deal, get it done, close it, and then start greenlighting projects, which then takes 2 years on average to complete.
I'm just saying this is very silly. And again, it's rage bait. They know what they're doing, getting people. Because again, if you have that anti-sentiment for whatever reason, if you're mad that David Ellison's daddy is cool with Trump, whatever, it's David Ellison that's running the company. So we don't have to keep bringing that up. But they had some horse in the race. They don't want Paramount to win, but you don't have to make up stuff. You don't have to do these fake stories. That's the sad thing. And then you have gullible people who, let's say they wanted Netflix, then they retweet this, oh, Paramount's in trouble, and y'all just look like idiots. Again, you lost.
Sir, I said good day.
It's over, okay? It's over. So that's
take the L gracefully.
just take that. And that's what I was saying last week. People just don't know how to lose. That's just really what it is. Like,
I don't know. Maybe they were part of that participation trophy generation where they get tantrum if they're not told that they did a good job.
So on top of this, and as I said, I'm going to start bringing up, and it's just for teaching moments on the Saturday weekly show. Is there sentiments out there that I want to address? Now, it could be some people that I'm mutuals with. I may bring you up on the big screen, not to embarrass you, but just to be like, hey, let's kind of learn from this post. So what do I mean? So
teaching moment.
We have this user here, and again, it's not about taking stuff personally. I don't mind if people do. We can have a nice conversation if you take this personally. But this is not to. I probably should have blocked their name out, but I'm sorry in advance. But they say it's the Deadline article. They were saying, theater owners take their battle over Paramount WBD merger to attorneys, general associations, Main Street America that will suffer the most. Now, without reading this article, people's like, oh, theaters are against Paramount now? And that's probably why this person put this comment, right? But if you actually look at the article, it's just one theater group of many that's raising the concerns. And what they're concerned with, Jules, just to save everyone a click, they just want to make sure David Ellison follows through with 30 films a year. That's their concern. I don't think that's a bad concern. Now, with knowing that with the article, then this person says, wait, I thought this is what theater owners wanted, hence why they were so against Netflix getting it. Me and you covered this very directly, Jules, where theater owners were against Netflix because it would have killed the theatrical window. Collectively, they were against this as far as overall. So that has not changed. And then that's a different argument. This article is again saying they just want to make sure Ellison follows through with 30 films a year. So this is again rage bait, clickbait, and just quite honestly, some people who they were against Paramount the whole time. They're looking at every headline saying, is this trouble with Paramount? And I'm just trying to remind people, don't fall for these headlines overall. If there's issues with it, me and Jules have been pretty open. Not saying we got the pom-poms out for Paramount. We're just saying this is the best option. And right now, everything's checking out with what they're doing, Jules, with this overall. So
right, and that's really what we're here to talk about. We want to see the Snyderverse restored. We want to see quality back into cinemas, more mature content, I guess, also based on what we've just been talking about for the past hour. But yeah, everybody knows that all these accounts, they just want to do rage bait, and they take one particular line from an article and they twist the headline to make it seem like something negative because that's what's going to get them the most clicks.
That's what it's all about. And again, it's no problem with feeling, hey, maybe you really wanted Netflix to win this. And we talked about different reasons for that, but I'm just saying in general now, it's not about just going at the Netflix collective people. Y'all just, again, it's very clear. It's over. What y'all was doing.
I said good day.
We don't have to keep talking about the Netflix
Beating
collective.
a dead horse.
But just people in general, if you were a fan of the Netflix angle, we just want to educate people saying, hey, obviously they feel Paramount will pass this deal. They think by this fall, I say early next year. A few states, Jules, like California, they're trying to bring up that they will lose jobs, the industry will lose jobs. And Ellison's going directly at them saying, hey, this is my plan to keep jobs, right? So they're checking, they're checking all their sides with this.
They knew what arguments were going to come their way, and they made sure to tackle them head on, which is great because they actually have a plan, which I don't think when Discovery bought Warner Brothers, I don't think they necessarily had a plan. Their plan was just, all right, let's just try to flip this thing in a couple of years.
Yeah, exactly. So that's just where we're at. And again, I love the different opinions out there. It just when I come across obvious rage bait and I see people, the reason why I brought that other person up because they kind of fell for the rage bait. And I was just like, we don't have to fall for that. If there's a real issue with Paramount, we'll see this process go forward. And if there's a real red flag, we got no problem covering that. But again, at the end of the day, we're trying to go with the option that's best to restore the Snyderverse. That's what we're talking about. If it's Paramount, if it was going to be Netflix, we don't have we're not paid shields for either of these companies. We just want the movies, man. That's all.
What's best for the fans.
Exactly. Overall. And Kevin Smith says he thinks Paramount will restore the Snyderverse. So
yep.
Just saying. I see him say about Netflix a couple months ago. I'm just saying. So anyway. Neil Sevens here with Super Chat says, why are the Netflix groupies? That's his words now. I'm not trying to make fun of Netflix. Well, I am kind of. He says, why are they so against Zack potentially making films at Paramount? Now, this is a real question. I think we do
Great
have
question.
to,
yeah.
That we do have to kind of stew on because
do we have
if
to?
It's well, it's a Super Chat, so we have to. But if it's about Zack, Jules, I don't care who does it, is my stance. If Paramount's having the best chance right now, I think all Snyder fans should be like, hey, let's see what they do, right?
Yeah, I don't care if it's a studio in Russia. If they are restoring the Snyderverse, then hey, all power to them. Yes, I will applaud you. That's all I want. That's all I care about. These people that are still stuck on this Netflix bandwagon, the groupies, as Neo's calling them, again, they just didn't have genuine intentions when they were rooting for Netflix, right? They thought they were going to become some kind of online influencer over it and try to get some kind of online fame, which I don't understand why. The market is extremely saturated. It takes a lot to even get to that level. But again, just nerds trying to become something they're not. I don't even know.
Yeah, I mean, hey,
It's embarrassing. They're embarrassing themselves.
Like last week, I touched on like every possible option why someone would be going this hard for Netflix. It's personal reasons for them, and like you said, just dealing with the general people now. Trying to say, oh, well, Paramount can't do this, so maybe Netflix. I'm gonna start talking more about just those people saying again, don't fall for it. Obviously, that Netflix collective, they had their personal reasons. If they're still rocking with that, I don't know what to tell you. If the Snyderverse is restored by Paramount, it'd be pretty sad. So-called Zack Snyder fans wouldn't be happy.
Right.
Paramount
like
does
you're
it.
still going to be upset about it, and when we literally have the movies in IMAX, you're going to still be like, oh, well, Netflix would have done this. Like, get real. Get real.
That's just kind of wild. And, that's where we're at, but we want to address that, and we'll continue to bring up teaching moments when necessary with this. So final, I'll give you a drop on this, Neo Sevens. Just again, final word with this Netflix situation.
So you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. Sir, I said good day.
He was hype, bro. I said good day. Appreciate you.
He was pissed.
Neo Sevens. Oh, we got another one here. Isn't Paramount restoring Rush Hour franchise?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why wouldn't they do the same for Snyderverse? And again, just like
they're restoring a lot
and Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, exactly. Michael Bay is back.
I mean, that's the energy of Paramount. It seems like they're saying, "Oh, what worked before, right? Let's do it again."
Right, and nothing else has been working. We haven't gotten a real the Rush Hour is probably the best buddy cop movie we've had in our generation. I haven't seen one that's been better. I have no desire to see any other ones because they're usually pretty boring. And then Transformers has been a flop after flop, or just didn't live up to expectations after Bay had left. And now we're kind of seeing the same thing with the DC film universe. I don't want to say the DCU because that has connotations. But so yeah, I mean, why not? Right? Just like Neil.
I mean, you're seeing the tendency of this company coming in, Paramount. They're bringing back, again, things that worked before, bringing back Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan, Michael Bay. So, I mean, bring back Zack Snyder. It just makes sense.
Can't dismiss it. Now, if we get a real live action Ninja Turtles movie, that would be cool.
Yeah, because they want to do something big with Ninja Turtles, revitalize that IP. We got an English major here. But with that, so again, I only can take it that they're gonna. Well, we know David Ellison is going to take every IP pretty seriously, especially big events. You can't get any bigger than as far as the IPs they own. You can't get any bigger than DC, Transformers. So he's gonna. I just think we got a good chance, y'all. And then even the side note on that is the Saudis' involvement as well. So I like our chances, y'all. I really do. That is what it is. Steven Smith talking. Y'all crazy in the chat. But appreciate you, Neo Sevens. And we're in the month of April. So this is the month of the Michael Jackson movie. You got to drop. One of those Michael Jackson drops, I tell you. Can't wait till the Michael Jackson movie coming out in 3 weeks. So we'll be checking that out. Zack Snyder's Last Ronin. And yeah, that was another thing. I should have screenshot when I saw people talk about this on Twitter. The Last Ronin is still going to happen. That's that dystopian dark future of the Ninja Turtles. They just want to, again, Ellison wants to get his main line in place first, the cinematic universe of the Ninja Turtles, and then do those future stories later. So that project is not dead. I was told the creators behind Last Ronin, they still are expecting to do their project. It just has been kind of pushed aside to, again, reboot the current TMNT.
Right. And I just kind of want to add to this. It's all about the buildup, right? So we haven't had a universal TMNT film that everyone loves and adores like we did when we were growing up in the 90s, right? We've had reboot after reboot after reboot. You can't just all of a sudden drop a Last Ronin movie and expect the general audience who knows nothing about the storyline to fall in love with it or to feel anything about it. So that's probably
Mhm.
why they decided to push this to the side for right now and do a proper build up to it. Actually make people fall in love with the turtles again, because they're not mainstream anymore besides, backpacks and lunchboxes. So
Yeah, it's been a minute. Yeah.
yeah, build up the universe. Let people find out who is Mike what was it, Mikey and
Mhm.
Raphael and the rest of them, right? Like
Mhm.
there's so much to it that they can still do. Let's not jump to the last Ronin when that's like
Right.
the end of the story.
Yeah, I mean that's the end. That's kind of a reboot. Like they introduced new turtles at the end of that run. So you know that'll be a great story to see. But you made a good point. Ninja Turtles ain't as popular as it used to be with us
No,
growing up. As far as millennials, I grew up watching
right.
Secret of the Ooze and really the original. I like the original better than all of them.
I
All
had the
those
tape
films.
of TMNT on Broadway, I think it was, and I used to watch it all the time.
Crazy we was for these Ninja Turtles, man. Like,
Yeah.
and I got into their comics after that, and the comics were more brutal actually than the fun-loving pizza
Of
people
course. Yeah.
that we saw. So I think David Ellison. We see his approach with these IPs. He's saying this is a well we can kind of tap better
Yeah.
and get the most out of it. So
Get all the money from it. You don't want to do a one and done. Like this is about building that proper universe. And this
Mhm.
TMNT should be a franchise that should have multiple films. You can't just do one movie and be like, all right, we did it. Now let's reboot it again.
Mhm. Yeah, let's do it. Let's spread out the cinematic universe, spinoffs, TV shows. They want to do all this connected. Again, Transformers, the same thing. Event films, spinoffs, series. So, what you think David Ellison's going to do with DC, y'all? I'm just saying.
It's also about capturing the imagination of the youth today, not just the millennials that they grew up with. Like millennials now, they have kids. They want something that can tap into all the generations. Where like the millennials be like, "Oh yeah, I grew up with that. Oh, my kid is interested in it. Maybe we can bond over this, thing that we're both interested in together, and we're gonna go to the theaters and watch it." Right? Like that's the key here. Not just like let's just tie it back into something from like the 90s or the 2000s. Like no, this is supposed to be multi-generational, and that's how you really get the best bang for your buck. So I know it sucks, but just have some patience. You should be eating soon if they do this right.
Yeah, I think, and I like their chances of doing this right overall. Let's get one more person on the panel here. I see Silos in the back here. Let's jump you up here and get your thoughts on these current topics and overall. Silos, this is the Wednesday crew is back.
Los.
What's up? What's up? Long time. We are officially back.
We're back.
And you've been waiting for this moment.
Oh man. Yes, I have. Yes, I have.
That was low key cap right there. But definitely people remember the Wednesday crew, but also too, me and Silos, we're doing our night views Sunday nights, 10 p.m. We got a new anthem song from Silos. So I'm looking forward to the sports stuff, man, and we'll talk more about that tomorrow night. But right now, we're talking this DC Snyderverse. Your boy James Gunn. I'm just playing. What's your thoughts so far, and this whole anti-Paramount thing as well? Whatever you want to touch on, man. What you think?
Look, man, I just had to say I had to take notes. I had to take notes.
Oh damn, we got a list. We got a list.
Listen. All right. So look, first of all, this whole anti-Paramount thing. This is how I'm gonna open my statement, right? All of a sudden, I'm seeing. I think I was under one of your threads. All of a sudden now we're seeing that Pam and Mike were endorsing Gunn to be the head of DC. Like when
I've never seen that.
When was that? Wasn't Pam and Mike kicked out of the James Gunn rooms at one point? Like
they were dismissed from DC Talks by Zaslav.
Like how, when, where, like what book, Bible were they reading? What's going on? I don't understand where that came from, right? I'm gonna be jumping around a little bit here. So like the whole they're never gonna bring back Zach and all this. First of all, everything he's been posting, we've been saying this, and I said it a couple times on your stream. You guys have said it. Zach, there's a reason why Zach does what he does, and he's not gonna just be doing this. Yes, he's showing love of his past projects and all that. That is just an inkling of some of the things he's doing. He is letting us know to keep fighting, to keep pushing, to keep wanting the Snyderverse, because it's there, it's happening. And that honestly, I know many people cannot say it. I'm saying it. I believe it's going to happen. I see the future. I know it's going to happen. Right. And here's my thing about the whole Paramount thing. Right. And I'm gonna just set this up here because I keep looking to the side. Right. This whole Paramount thing. Right. The one reason why we should all be excited about this. Right. It took a company like Disney, right, to own Marvel, to make all these, you know, comebacks of certain heroes. One in particular that we've been talking about, Daredevil. They vamped, brought him back to life essentially. His story, and not only that, the Defenders, bringing them back, right? Now Paramount. Some may not agree with me on this, but I see them as a company, money-wise, who is as resourceful as Disney. So you mentioned they're bringing back Rush Hour. They're bringing back Transformers. The amount of money that they have, they've already said they want to pump money. They want to make DC films an event again. They don't want to just make it, oh, these are cool stories. And I know many of people are going to say, oh, but weren't you a fan of Gunn's Superman film? I enjoyed it for what it was.
Someone was typing it as you said it. Like,
yeah, I felt, my hair stood up. I felt it, you know? But here's my thing about that, right? I enjoyed it. Mainly, I enjoyed it because it was so different from Zack, right? Because I didn't want I didn't want him to do what Zack did. And now last night I was on the Chop Shop with Vega, and we talked about the whole Good Friday post and stuff like that. One thing that was solid throughout everything we talked about, because we broke down Man of Steel, we're gonna break down BVS, and then Zack Snyder Justice League, how it all ties into the, you know, word of Christ and all that story. So like how it has this linear connection. But one thing we talked about when we talked about Superman was how throughout the years, whether it's Reeves, whether it's Tyler Hoechlin, whether it's Smallville, Superman has that stance of hope, of like, there's a stature when you're doing a Superman film, you need to touch on these morals. I feel like with Gunn, the reason why, for one, so many did not like it was because he literally got that and he flipped it upside down. And he told it as a whole different story, not the Messiah story, not the all that. He really did it differently, which at the time, that is why I was okay with it, because it was something different. But it's not gonna, it doesn't work with these type of characters. What he was trying to do is what I'm getting at with that. Now, my last statement here, so you know I'm all over the place. I believe, I don't know if you mentioned it or on your thing, I really do think that Gunn, he will stay in DC as some capacity, but the reason why I think they haven't extended his thing is because I don't think it's going to be with film. I do think he's going to make a transition, and they're going to allow him to continue into comic book verse, while we have Zack doing the event films, the big stuff. Maybe you have Gunn do a series here and there that's not connected, just his own one-off series. But I do think he would have his own run in the whole comic book verse because of, I mean, one thing I can admit from him, his story, like, you know, comic book stuff, and I do think he has a niche on that. He has a lane. Just like certain people need to stay in their lane. You know, the Netflix people.
Let's say a good day.
You know, they need to stay there. I believe that's where Gunn needs to do. He needs to stay in that comic book. You know, if you want to go wacky and crazy, keep it in the book.
So you're saying James Gunn, you're saying his DCU, you want to see it in a comic book form, or animated even, instead of live action. The Guzzles not going to like that, Carlos. They're not there. They're not going to like that.
look. At this point, and here's another thing I said, right? Because the whole moving the goalposts of these people, right? If you're believing the hoopla and all this stuff, at this point, you want to believe the filth, live in the dust. That's my new slogan for them. All right, live in the dust, man. Because, like, honestly, and I told you this before we did our sports show last week. At this point, the Syl Nation in all different platforms should be like how Feige does his rundown of movies of what's to come, of literally how Paramount and the whole Netflix bidding deal has started from beginning to end. You and Jules, shout out to both of y'all doing this show. Like, it's been entertainment every weekend. Jules, never changed. Don't apologize
Thanks,
to
Lo.
anybody. Like, if they don't like it, again, live in the dust. Because it's like, y'all have been real following the map, the pattern. It's like, yo, you know, like, it's that's all I gotta say on that.
Hey, we're keeping the watch on it, man. So appreciate you, Carlos, for sure. And I'll get at you tomorrow for night views. We're back,
man.
Sunday evenings. Take that, Shannon Sharp. No, but take care, bro. We'll be in touch.
Thanks,
right,
Carlos, and we'll give him the applause. Yeah, I tell you.
Actually, I would like to jump on what thing Carlos said. I wish I said it when he was still on. But it's kind of funny how he brings up how the gun guzzlers, as you call them, they would not be happy with the universe continuing in either animated or comic book form, because they feel like it's beneath them. However, they were very much ready to let the Snyderverse live in those particular mediums and expect us to be happy with it and settle for that. So keep that same energy.
Exactly. It's like, hey, people, I get comments like this all the time from people. They're like, oh, maybe the Snyderverse shouldn't continue, or at least not live action. But you can get a comic or an animated,
right?
It's like I said, maybe Gunn's gonna be regulated to that, because
I mean, visually, it's not very stimulating. It's not stimulating either anyway. And thanks, Dave.
I'll be real. Like, animated could be an angle only because though his Creature Commandos, it didn't do great viewership wise.
I don't think
he may not have that angle.
And I will have to disagree with you, Lo. Sorry. I don't see him doing any comics or DC or animated stuff for DC, just because I feel like he thinks it's beneath him. It's not that much money in those two mediums as there are in film. He'll just go over to the MCU and start cranking out stuff with Feige again and really make the big bucks. And fix his resume, because right now it's not looking too good. These past 4 years have been a detriment on his career.
I mean, that's the great segue, because we're talking about the Supergirl about to come out here, and this past year I've been looking forward to this Craig Gillespie film. I thought he would do something pretty interesting with the character. I still think the film is going to be somewhat interesting, but seeing the trailers, seeing I don't want to say it's not bad. It's part like low interest. It's part because you obviously got some trolls out there. People, are like, they were going to hate whatever this film was going to be like. Yeah. If people are going to be honest with themselves, you was ready to crap on this film, and that's fine. That's fine. Everyone has their opinion.
Know what we were going to get. I'm not.
But seeing the trailer, seeing this first look, the way they're marketing it, feels a little desperation, because we heard about these test screenings and how it was mixed. It was like, now they're saying it's up to 8 test screens now.
Crazy.
For this film. And in that world of test screenings, you usually only need up to 3 to figure out the film you want to make, if whatever you want to adjust with that. I think BVS only had 1 test screening, right? So Supergirl, I think Superman 2025, it was on a high end. I think that was over 6, I believe, for James Gunn Superman. Supergirl is going to be more. That's not a lot of confidence. And all of a sudden they let's get this trailer out there. Everything's fine. And Jill, like, it just doesn't feel like everything's fine with this film. And that's for those that were cheering for this film, you can't feel too comfortable. And then some of these quotes, Millie Alcock saying, "Oh, they're just going to hate me because I'm a woman." It's like, what? Like, what does that speak to you, Jules? Just using this, there's feminists, and then there's like this radical,
a DEI movie, and look at it. It ended up winning Oscars, and it's one of the best movies we've had in the past few years, right? So, and this all started with, unfortunately, during the Me Too movement, the radical people took that movement and propagandized it to what now we have all this, what they call wokeism or whatever, right? They want to blame everything on some kind of ist, right? Sex or ism, some sexism, racism, whatever. That's not the case here. And Millie is not doing herself any favors at all. If this movie bombs, it's because, again, bad timing, and the movie just wasn't good enough.
Yeah, and we keep talking about the placement of this film. This isn't fair. I don't know, how didn't they think this through, dropping this film, which has everything against it, meaning the general audience don't really know Kara Zor-El, right? Supergirl.
Right. They know
really
a
don't.
Supergirl exists, but they don't know anything about her.
Right. So you're plopping this in the summer. That's one thing. Again, Toy Story 5, the second week's going to destroy Supergirl. Minions first week, July 4th. Why put this before July 4th week? That's just weird placement overall. Like
people are like out and about.
Get cream pie. Pretty much in the comments there, they'll cloud it. That's pretty much what I think is going to happen with this film. Like it's not going to win 1 week in the box office. It's going to have to, and this is, I'm talking about, just to even get over 300 million at least, this film is going to have to have a perfect critical score, perfect audience score, the best word of mouth ever. I don't think it's going to get all that. But that's the formula for it to at least drag out and get a little money. I think this film is just buried. The summer's going to bury it, and it's a shame. It's a shame. For me personally, it may not be a shame for a lot of people, but it's a shame.
I mean, no, it is a shame because I would hate to see Supergirl treated in such a manner when she, as a character, deserves so much more respect. But again, that's just what we've been getting from the Gunverse. It's just bad decision after bad decision, one way or another.
Yeah, that's just where it's at, man. And so with this film and the expectations, they dropped this little featurette. And this is how they did Superman 2025. They came out with that goofy crypto trailer where he's screaming, and then they came out with this in-depth behind the scenes, which actually looked better. But I was like, why didn't you lead with some like more epic vibe? Because in that, you saw the trailer, right?
I haven't actually seen the full trailer, but just to answer your question, they don't know what real epic is. So why are you going to expect them to have something extremely epic and like crazy cinema quality when they don't even know what that means? Like their cinematography has been horrible these past couple movies. Like there's nothing beautiful that we've seen. There's nothing that's like, oh my God, just hold on that still real quick. Like, let me just take it in. Like we haven't had any of those moments.
I mean, it's like the trailer itself, I thought it was better than the first one. Right, because the first trailer, me and you talked about it in real time, and we were just like, it's missing something.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but they literally just replicated the exact scene that was in Superman in this movie when she was saving the girls. Same exact thing happened with Superman saving, like the little same shot for shot. Like I can't even.
I mean, hey, you got to go with what works, though. I don't blame it on copying stuff, but it's like that this new trailer, I thought actually had better shots. Told me on the potential of this DCU. Was that, okay, Gunn's going to do his goofy stuff, right? But you're going to have other writers and directors to do their vision. And we're seeing, just from that first trailer, him peeing on Superman's newspaper.
Yeah.
And then this new trailer, the typical music Gunn uses, I'm like, okay, this is all Gunnified. Like, where's the director? You're talking to James Gunn. Like, can we talk to the director of this film? Like, why?
I haven't even seen the director in anything, in any kind of promotional material. And just like what you said, like, this is exactly what he did with Superman. Like, in every promotional material or whatever, like, you never just saw Corn Sweat or whoever the girl, Rachel Brosnahan, I think she played Lois. I don't even know if you remember. Yeah. I just remember Gunn being in all the promotional stuff. Like anytime they had like some kind of time to everyone watching it and just, didn't leave a good taste in everyone's mouths. It's just bad from a marketing perspective. Like we're not here to see the director. We're here to see the character.
Yeah. What did you think? Okay. Because you didn't see I don't have the full trailer, but they kind of shoved Superman in this.
Yeah, I did see that a little quick. Yeah.
In his FaceTime, like, hey, Kara, I'm Clark.
When I saw this, I was like, again, like the entire Superman movie just looked washed out, right? Like people were surprised when they saw Millie Alcock in this movie because she looked so different from the Superman movie. Because again, the lighting just washed everything out. You didn't see any real features or detail or texture. And so I guess that's just what they're going for inside the Fortress of Solitude, just based on the look of the screen. But when I saw this, I was like, why does he look like someone that I've seen before? And then I saw someone tweet that he looks like that billionaire that draws plasma from his son that doesn't want to age, and he does that whole thing. And I'm like, oh my God, that's literally what Corn Sweat looks like here.
Wow.
And it just goes to show that like Gunn just doesn't understand how to properly light people to make them look their best. And then we've seen a lot of that criticism with those shots of yeah, I mean, we've seen that's what he looks like. Why is he so pale? Right? Like, is he alive? And we've seen those criticisms with Millie Alcock recently with those stills that people grab from the trailer. And it's unfair to her. It's unfortunate. But it's up to the director to make these actors look their best. And we're not getting that from either Superman or now we see it at Supergirl.
I mean, I look at it like this was just a weak shoe-in of Corn Sweat Superman. Like, if you were really going to, and again, I know this isn't the DCU world that they would do this, but if you were going to have Superman in your trailer, let's have a cool shot of Superman.
Right.
Like, let's have, but again, we've seen Superman 2025. He didn't do a lot of cool stuff, right? In the film. So it's like, but that's what I was like, okay, I want to see what you got with this film. You want to put in Superman? Great. Like, make it something memorable. This is like TV show stuff. Like,
it is, yeah.
You know, it's very just okay. Like, just like with the Brainiac announcement. Okay.
Yeah, it's nothing exciting.
Jon
like
Stewart's in this.
All right. Yeah. Like, they just killed any excitement and hope that we had as fans for this universe or for these characters. And that's really is the saddest part about all of this. And yeah, like that last commentator said, like, this reeks of desperation. Everything that they've been doing recently just reeks of desperation. All the test screenings, all the different versions of the movie, all the reshoots. There's panic going on in the DCU right now.
Oh yeah. Oh no, it has to be, because again, I told people in December, I was told the low bar they have for Supergirl. And a lot of people again scoffed at it, but that's the same way I got the numbers for Superman 2025. I was told that early, and you saw what it did, and you know they're acting like 600 million is a new billion with them right now.
Literally, yeah.
But it's like with Supergirl, expecting definitely less. Black Adam territory. This is desperation. The trailers aren't hitting. I don't feel universally like they wanted to. The test screens haven't been good. I mean, then you shove Superman out there, anticlimactic appearance. It's like,
which is also weird because people didn't really resonate with Corn Sweat Superman for whatever reason. Like the general audience did not connect with it. So them shoehorning him into this trailer like this, what is it really accomplishing? What is it doing? Just showing that the universes are connected. Like, we didn't already, like, you didn't already know that. We saw Millie or Supergirl.
Saw her,
yeah. So this was necessary. Again, it's just reeks of desperation.
I mean, if this was about getting, let's get some more tickets sold, again, Corn Sweat Superman, that didn't sell a lot.
No,
you know, like you wanted it to out there. So this ain't the shot in the arm. You know, like Lobo, that's not making people run out and want to buy Supergirl. And I thought that was their best shot to be like, okay, just make it.
You really did. And I remember telling you, I was like, that's normies don't know Lobo. That's like a comic book thing. Like, they don't give a shit about Lobo. You know, again, actors, big names don't sell tickets. The IP sells tickets. And they didn't even sell Lobo properly. Like, if Lobo has great potential to show like a ton of artwork, like we haven't seen like any artwork, any real like imagery that we can like save on our phones. Like, no one's saving any Corn Sweat Superman wallpapers on their phones.
Well, maybe it's a couple guzzlers, but
yeah, well, you always have a couple of guzzlers, but like, you know, a lot of people, like, there was a ton, like, just going back to the Snyderverse, it's just like there were a ton of wallpaper and artwork available with all the characters back then when that movie first came out with BVS. We're not getting that at all now. No one wants it.
It's just, you know, again, with the test screenings, the reaction to the trailers, the dumb quotes, and again, Millie Alcock, I think, you know, I think she's going to do actually good in the film.
Yeah, she's a good actress.
It's just some dumb quotes tying us to, again, some anti-woman agenda. It's like, bro, I was saying this to someone online. I was like, to try to get ahead of that, like, don't worry about the people that's going to cry when they see women. Like, don't even worry about that audience.
It's also not an argument, because if we're staying in the superhero genre, you know, Captain Marvel made $1 billion. That was a woman-led
Right.
project. Wonder
Wonder
Woman
Woman.
made over what, 600 million? That was a
800.
woman.
800.
800. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I even underrated it. Look, $800, almost $1 billion nearly. Way more.
Yeah.
With inflation, over $1 billion if we're really comparing, apples to apples here.
Mhm.
That a ton woman-led, right? So there's really no argument here. And there was like a few other ones too that people brought up online. People were asking for a Black Widow movie for years. Unfortunately, it came out at the worst time. But if that movie would have came out at her height, that would have made good money.
Oh, I think it would have made similar Wonder Woman numbers. I think it would have.
Yeah, absolutely. So Disney dropped the ball on that. But just all that to say that Millie's argument is a moot point. Like it's a shame that she even said that. Like, you're just putting more negative buzz on this movie that doesn't need any more negativity.
You didn't need that whole, agenda, that whole angle. Like, watch this because there's, anti-women hate out there. It's like, bro, like, just make the film, put your best foot forward, and the people will show up if it's actually a good film.
And it's crazy saying that a few weeks before A Devil Wears Prada 2 comes out, which is going to make a killing, right? Like, that's a completely woman-led film, and that's going to make bank.
And you're not going to see these dumb quotes. Like, it's like Gunn was trying, and I put this on James Gunn, this angle this agenda they're trying to get ahead, they're saying they're getting ahead of, because when Gunn first showed, I think the first trailer, he was like, oh yeah, Supergirl, she can get messy because, people only want men to get messy, but women can do it too. I'm like, Gunn, chill on that. That's
I
not
don't
the
think
angle.
Gunn knows what women actually want.
We'll just leave it at that.
I don't need to say more.
We got a super chat here, Candor Zone. That was a Okura, right? Okura. Says Supergirl not.
Don't worry, guys. Syl is not a Dragon Ball Z fan, so he doesn't understand.
Thanks for telling everybody that. Supergirl not over 300 million box office. Also, I know I come across as a DCU hater. You do, no, it's fine. He says, but always walk in theaters without bias and hopes I love it. I want W's for DC. I feel the exact same way, Candor Zone. I'm probably to my detriment at times. I do hope for the best for everything DC until I'm proven wrong. And so I was looking forward to the Supergirl film. Is just hearing the feedback from the test screenings, seeing again, I like parts of both trailers, but I have a serious issue with both trailers. I just don't feel too confident about the film. This is coming from someone I'm looking forward to this film, and I'm saying like I'm not feeling too good about this. I know. Some of y'all, they already struck this off. They already wrote this film up, already. But I wanted to give it a chance. And I know you, Jules, you haven't probably seen Superman 2025 yet. So
I'm not a masochist.
So she's not gonna watch Supergirl as well.
I'm not watching that. Stop.
That is what it is. And we'll appreciate you, Candor Zone. Let's do the cannon drop.
Cannon.
Oldie but goodie. Cannon drop. So the funny thing with this trailer is this was the recent one when it dropped. James Gunn. First they did the teaser to the trailer the day before. It was like, oh, something new is gonna drop. And that's when you probably saw the Superman clip. Jules, where it was like, oh, Superman's gonna be in the trailer, and that was really all that. Hey, Kara, I'm FaceTiming you. Okay. Then the trailer actually comes out. Then that same day, like an hour later, James Gunn just cryptically posts this on his IG story. Just a big thumbs down. And so I just saw it, just came across my feed because I follow Gunn on Instagram. So, just like I see what Zach's going to post something. That's really the only reason why I go to Instagram now. Like, did Zach post something? And then Gunn had the story. It was a big thumbs down. And so all I said, I said James Gunn's IG story an hour after Supergirl teaser to trailer dropped today. Okay, so that was the day before. But the point, I was just like, hey, this is an hour after, and he did a thumbs down. And the gun shields, the online bots, like they pushed that tweet. They were like mad at me that I was implying Gunn gave Supergirl a thumbs. All just observing a timestamp for you. I said just an hour after the trailer, he put a thumbs down. That's all. There's nothing inaccurate about my statement. They rushed this tweet, y'all, to the point where it's pretty much got like 1 million views. This tweet, because Gunn fans were that upset that I was implying some kind of dissatisfaction from James Gunn for the Supergirl trailer. And I mean, they were quote tweeting me. They was like, "Oh, but the ratio, you bro," which is no one cares about that, y'all. So Twitter's not a real place, y'all. But it's like ratio.
You got ratio?
I think the ratio. I think, man, like probably about 10 different people. I was like, dang, y'all sending the whole army.
Gunn saw that and he got all his little bots after your ass. They're not real people. Like when I'm saying they're bots, like I mean like they're literal bots. It's like one person with like 1,000 accounts.
Yeah. Oh, I ran into me and Mikey back in the day. We ran into someone. He'd had 100 accounts by himself. Like, and I'm sure they have more. But we ran into like nearly like over a couple years span. We saw like 100 accounts.
And everything that we learned about how Warner Brothers purposely sabotaged the Snyderverse, we know they have an army of probably like AI bots that at their disposal. And I'm sure Gunn is using plenty of those as well to prop up his stupid universe, which is what we saw before Superman came out. The movie didn't do well. Half of those died. Like they just disappeared.
Yeah, I'm telling you, every angle possible. Like some of them said they wanted to catch me outside. I was like, pull up. Like I'm like, what you about
they don't
to
exist.
do, bro?
They don't go nowhere. Yeah.
Like, dude, I don't think y'all understand. Like,
you're gonna leave the Matrix to go visit?
You really gonna come down, my neighbor? Like, you really about to come to Louisville? Like, let's say, hey, okay, like over James Gunn. You got this one guy. I think he has like multiple accounts, and he was just like, apologize to James Gunn. Yes, I'm serious. They were just serious about this post. Like, I'm making money off this post, y'all. I probably should stop telling them that. But it's like when y'all attack me, my views go crazy on Twitter. And they got like nearly, like I said, 1 million views on it. I'm just like, okay, like, because usually if I do like a Zack Snyder trending post, you can get like 100,000 views. This got nearly 1 million.
That's crazy.
This entire James Gunn army came after me, and one dude still wants me to apologize, and I just keep calling him names every time he says something. So it's like that's what
the best
it is.
thing to do.
Don't get mad at me because everyone's not feeling Supergirl. I mean, I was trying to be a fan of it. I was giving it a chance. So it's like, man, y'all really mad. Y'all really that mad?
They're mad at the wrong
and
people.
Nervous. Yeah, they're really nervous.
They're very nervous. They're clearly concerned.
Very goofy. And so, hey, that is what it is, man. We'll see the performance of this film overall, and we'll see if everything lines up with what we've all been hearing. So, interesting stuff. Let's get to the final topic for the show.
You better have some Mario sound bites if you're not.
Okay. I got the Michael Jackson.
I don't want no Michael Jackson. About Mario.
Jules is very hype about Super Mario Galaxy. I did get a chance to see the film. I was excited. I like the first one, obviously. That did wonderful overall. And the second one, I was expecting more of the same. You had some of these journalists. They were just like, "Oh, this isn't like Shakespeare." I'm like, yeah, no, really, no, does Nintendo.
It's based on a Nintendo character. Like, what are you expecting? La La Land?
Pretty much. Like, there's some weird energy from some journalists out there. They just expecting some masterpiece. I just expected just to see Nintendo Easter eggs, and
we just want to have fun. We can't just have fun.
Yeah, no, we can't, Jules. And so, but with that, it always gets to the numbers. So this is a rare Saturday edition of a Box Office Battle. Box Office Battle. box office battle. We're dealing with projections on Saturdays. Now, my Monday stream, members Mondays, we get the official numbers and we can talk more about where it actually landed. This is a projection for just domestic Super Mario Galaxy. It's looking like the high end. It may actually exceed 145. I heard
Crazy.
150 with that. This is Avengers numbers, Jules. This is what Super Mario.
Absolutely. And I'm not surprised. I mean, when we first learned about Star Fox, they upped their prediction to 80 million. So the fact that now it's past 100 million already, I think it was at 120 right now. Like, this is crazy.
I think they said in 2 days it's already like at 120. I'm like, what?
Yeah,
so it's gonna crush this number.
Absolutely, which is great. Like, I love that this is happening. Like, we need to see more content like this. Video games have not had great film adaptations, so I'm so happy that Nintendo hit it out of the park with Mario, and we're just gonna get so much more.
Yeah, and I mean, they already put it out there as far as with the Star Fox. It's a great entrance with Star Fox, and really the main thing, like once he comes to the film, you just wait to see what he does. Like, what's Fox McCloud gonna do? Like, you're just looking forward to the setup. Obviously, it's post-credit scenes. They obviously set up Mario 3. I'm not trying to give everything away, but I mean, obviously, they're setting up.
You would assume that they set up Mario 3.
Yeah, so it's just a big fun film. Like, I just kind of turned my brain off and just let's see what they do. Yoshi's in most of the film. It's just a fun film, and it's making all the money. The families are going to go see it over this Easter weekend, I guess. And this is looking like, I think the first one did about 1.3 or 4 billion. So, I think this would easily match it or exceed it.
Damn, I didn't know it made that much.
Yeah, big. We're talking big numbers here.
And this is what I was talking. This is a perfect example of what I mentioned earlier with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, where they're going for generational fandom, not just a one-off, like just focusing on one particular generation or another. Mario transcends generations. You got young Gen X, you got millennials. Now you have the Gen Z kids and Gen Alpha that are now old enough to go to the movie theaters and watch a movie. Like, everyone can watch and enjoy this, except boomers, but who cares? Basically, everyone can enjoy this movie.
Yeah, it's for everyone. It's it's the ultimate family film, and that's what we're expecting this summer with Toy Story 5 and Minions and Moana. Like, it's gonna be these big family films, and so this is really the start. This really kicks off
like the summer blockbuster weekend.
Exactly. So let's see. A few of y'all in the chat saw the film. Real quick, Candor says, how do you get demonetized when using the film clips? I think you're saying how to avoid getting demonetized. You just gotta chop them up. That's the best advice I can give you on that. But if you just play like a straight up movie, like I think like my first year doing videos, like I just put on like half of BVS, and I was like, oh, why they strike my video? I was like, you can't just watch a whole movie on here, So yeah, just kind of chop them up. You just got to edit it. So let's see. I know Music City. I think I saw you in the chat. Yeah, said love Super Mario. Saw it 3 times already. Okay.
Oh wow.
They got some good popcorn buckets as well too. On there, and like I said, Fox McCloud, it's just cool seeing it. And again, you're seeing they're setting up all these stories as well. We're getting the Star Fox movie.
But there's so much potential for all the spin-offs, and as I've been saying for 2 years now, eventually we're going to get a Super Smash Brothers movie. Like, that's inevitable. But just a build up to that is just going to be amazing to watch. It's just going to be a fun ride. So I mean, it's like, again, we don't have a lot of movies you can just turn off your brain and just have fun. Like, this is a fun movie, like no drama, whatever. It's just a fun flick.
Yep, it just starts off cool. You see, I think a lot of people saying there's a lot of allusions to Mario Maker. I think that's a game I didn't play as much, but they're just bringing all different references to the games. And
there's just so many different Mario games that I don't think unless you're like a crazy fan, you're not gonna catch every single one. Right, like this is not this, and these movies are not just for those crazed fans. It's for everyone. It's for people that only played it when they were like 5 or 6, but it stuck with them. Up until people that played it their entire lives.
Exactly. And briefly backstage, you got a cam up, and we could have you on before we close in a few minutes here. We'll get your thoughts on what's going on with as we go on the wind down. So much appreciated. With this. you got the holdover film, Project Hail Mary, that's been doing big, and that drama film, that's the A24 film with Zendaya and Pattinson. Yeah, I mean, I don't like either of those actors. I'm being honest with you, so I'm just like, okay, it's A24, so maybe it'll be a good character, story.
Drama. Yeah,
they do good projects overall with that, but
they seem to have good chemistry. Hold on, so I'll be right back.
Yeah, you good. And so, but with Project Hail Mary, you see it's going to get about 30 million right now. Before the numbers come in, it's at 330 worldwide, but we never know what international. So just focusing on domestic. Once this weekend is over, it is going to match or surpass the budget they put into the film. People said it was about like 190 plus million that they spent on the film, or 200 million. It says right there, 200 million. So it's going to surpass that on its third weekend here, just on the domestic side. International, like I said, it's all hit or miss when it comes to international. They're going to make a profit. This film is profiting. And like I said, just it's good for theaters. As we said, this is kind of the unofficial kickoff of summer films. And so you got a couple good ones to watch. So, okay, so backstage here. Again, yeah, if you could put your camera on, and we can get you up here. And let me plug again. Members Mondays. We'll talk more box office stuff overall this Monday. So in the chat, last minute comments or questions, throw it in the chat as we wind this down. And again, anyone backstage, you have to have your camera on. I'm not going to bring you up unless you have your camera on. So especially if I don't know the account. So just to let you know that. And then we could talk further with that. You have to leave your camera on. So yeah. Jules, as far as with, again, I know you haven't seen Project Hail Mary yet, but are you intrigued by just the word of mouth with it?
I've seen a few things. It seems like it's more of a visual spectacle versus being more story driven. Which is why everybody keeps saying, so if you're going to see it, make sure you see it on IMAX. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I'm going to go to the theater just to watch it. I might watch it online. I haven't seen anybody else other than Ryan Gosling in the movie. I don't know if this movie is just like one of those Interstellar kind of. Was it? What's the one? No, the one with George Clooney and Sandra Bullock. What's the name of that movie?
What is the name of that? I know what you're talking about though. But yeah, It's that same concept though. It's
I mean,
you're only seeing him. You're only seeing him because he's the bulk of the film. Yeah. And someone in chat says, "Why is Jules without a cam?" Because this is my show. Because this is my show. Well, that's the first.
If he knows you, you don't need to have your camera on. Like, hello.
I mean, I wasn't trying to be smart when I said that. I'm just like, like Jules, me and Jules go back like years at this point. So yeah, randos, I don't know you, so that's just what it is. But anyway. Well, let's wind down what we're saying in the chat here before we close this. But interesting, like I said, opening up these panels. I think we'll probably do it like once a month or so. There'll be a nice shakeup just to get people's thoughts and stuff like that overall. But I'm gonna gatekeep Jules a little bit. I'm just playing. But it's gonna be interesting. Gravity. That was the film with
Gravity. Okay,
with Clooney, right? Yeah,
so that was so
type of
boring.
vibe.
I tried watching that movie. I actually fell asleep. So I mean, the Ryan Gosling movie looks like it has a lot more action in it, at least, or at least more visually stimulating. So I don't know if I'm gonna. I'd probably rather take that money and watch Mario a couple of times than watch.
Yeah, I mean, it's I got like some Castaway vibes from this film as well, but in space though, like Gosling has a great performance.
No, he's a good actor. So he's like more lost in space kind of story. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of like he's on a mission, but because he starts off, he has amnesia. I'm not telling you the whole story, but he kind of has like a little amnesia. He's trying to figure out what his mission actually is, and then he figures out what his job was before, and put it together. And so he's really secluded. They have flashbacks, telling you the backstory, but it's just a well put together film. Lord and Miller, these are the Spider-Verse guys.
Oh, that's right.
They put together good stuff. And so it's entertaining. Yeah, it's entertaining. So, if not gonna twist your arm to watch it or anything, but
I'll go watch it. Like Mario is at the top of my list right now as priority.
Yeah, that's gonna be that. Like I said, just Mario, just fun. Like even catch like a matinee or something. It's just like, okay, let me just kind of.
That's what I'm waiting for. I'm not trying to be in a crowded theater, so.
So good stuff. Good stuff with that. We'll be keeping our eyes open. Like I said, I'll do the Monday show. Members, we'll talk more stories that come from this weekend, box office stuff as well. What was it? Project Hail Mary is like an 80s style. So, but yeah, it's those vibes. It's really, again, good storytelling.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, I mean, I'll probably try and watch it before it leaves theaters.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably going to do an extended IMAX run, right? Like those are the rumors.
Yeah. It's definitely made for IMAX, like just the visuals of this film. So I could see them doing what they did for Sinners, just re-release it like in 3 months from now. They'll just bring it back out in IMAX. It's made for it. Like the visuals are the best thing really about the film. So, and it doesn't feel as boring as Gravity. I don't think so. So we'll see.
Gravity was
We'll see with that. Bayona says Lord and Miller was close to doing the Flash film. Yeah, we talked about that.
We talked about that last week, actually, I think. I think they recently came out saying that there's a reason why they never talked about the details or the real storyline for their original Flashpoint movie in case it actually ends up getting made at some point in the future, which, again, another hint that we got just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. So, I mean, this is what Ben Affleck said, too, at Full Circle. People was asking him about his Batman movie, and Ben was kind of skirting around his story, and then he was just like, that's all I'm going to really say about it right now. Like, I'm not going to tell you the story because I still could use it.
Writing is on the wall, and I know we have some Deathstroke fans out there. So, Sil, you have any updates on Joe Manganiello and Deathstroke? Possibly if they're going to do the Batfleck movie, it's safe to say they'll be back, right? Like the whole story is getting done.
Yeah, I think if let's say Paramount goes through with this and do JL 2 and 3, the feeling is those side films could be revitalized as well, meaning Batfleck,
right?
Even potentially Wonder Woman 3 was actually the last I heard with that. So
even sticking with on the Deathstroke topic, he's a big part of the nightmare sequence, which is basically JL 2. So he would be a star in that movie.
Yeah, it will make a lot of sense if you're doing JL2, the Nightmare movie. You have Deathstroke in there. It would make sense to do that spinoff film with Deathstroke and Batman. You know what I mean? It just makes sense.
And then after that, you do another spinoff of Deathstroke if you want. Like, there's just so much there's so many characters in the DC universe that they can just it's like an endless amount of movies that they can make, which is probably why the Saudis also wanted, to be able to control some IPs because, the more studios we have involved, the more movies we get.
Exactly. And like I said, it's about what performs too. So it's like, if you're doing a big JL2 film, it's going to make money. We're going to want more of that world. So you got to, like I said, we got to come for everything at this point. Like that's just where it's at now. Like, because a part of me was like, hey, let's finish Zack's story, JL 2 and 3. It's like, no, you know what? I want that Flash film now, Lord and Miller. Come do that Flash film. Let's go to Flashpoint as well, which is a separate thing.
Bring back everybody that was supposed to come be part of that. That was going to be.
I'm just saying, let's do it.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Thomas Wayne. Wear the bat suit with the red circle around the bat. Like, oh man, the visuals alone would have been amazing.
Martha as Joker, right? Yeah. Insane. That story is insane. And then you have the Atlanteans versus the Amazon, so you have that angle too. Flashpoint is a wonderful story.
One of my favorite comics, honestly.
And the animated. Did you catch the animated?
Hell yeah! Oh my god, that was like they just need to take that and just put it in live action. Like that's all we need.
It's so the Flashpoint, just the concept of it is so cool. It flips all these characters or their fates, and having Superman, they keep him from the sun. You know what I mean? So he's looking like Horn Sweat. No, I'm just playing. But it's like he's like real skinny and things like that. And then as soon as he gets into that sun, he just beasts out. You know, it's crazy. Flashpoint is amazing overall. Okay, we got a super chat here before we close this out. Says, can Paramount do the animated Batman Beyond film? Interesting, because you had those people, they were saying they petitioned James Gunn, and Gunn was like kind of told them what he told Ayer, like, let me get my world going, and then we'll get back to you. But since that contract's about to be up, they may not get back to them about this Batman Beyond film. But that doesn't mean the new regime, Paramount, DeLuca Abdi, whoever's going to be over DC, I don't think this idea is dead. I think
now that would actually be a perfect Elseworlds film, like set somewhat in the same universe, like the same universe as Batfleck. Because I would love to see an older Ben be that Bruce Wayne too, and just have it take place 30, 40 years in the future. Like, why not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a easy layup right here. Where if you want to get some content out there, just cash in on the whole Spider-Verse thing,
right?
This is easy. Like, I don't know how Gunn turned this down, but said, and I don't know nothing against this film, Clayface, but let's spend $40 million on Clayface. I'd rather spend $5 million on this Batman Beyond animated and just make that. Like,
and it would if they actually pull it off, like the Spider-Verse movies. Oh my god, that would have been perfect. They would have made so much money.
James Gunn, just it's gonna be good riddance.
You're dealing with someone that doesn't really have the vision of an auteur and like that kind of like a visionary. He doesn't have it.
See, that's the thing. 30 films a year. I say all these DC ideas should happen. Like, people want the absolute universe. They want, like we mentioned the Snyderverse. Yes, Swamp Thing, like just the Batfleck. Like, if you got to fill up these slots and you want to spend this money and make these films, you got 100 ideas with Snyderverse, DC alone. So
yep.
So that's
so much you can do. We could be getting like 3 DC projects a year easily with how much they can do just based off the world that's Snyder built. And
I know they're leaning more towards theater, so it may not be like a lot of streaming films. I mean, he's talking about 30 theatrical. So yeah, like you said, let's get like 3 DC events a year. Not no little little small stories and Peacemaker type stuff. It's like, no, let's do 3 events a year. DC.
Yeah.
Spring, summer, winter. Let's just drop them. So
yep, absolutely.
So we'll see. So appreciate you, Carlos, for the super chat. We'll give him a drop.
I said good day.
That's my new favorite with overall. So we're gonna go ahead and wind on out on this one here. Appreciate all the feedback. Appreciate those jumping on the panel. Like I said, like once a month we'll open this up, kind of mix it up a little bit. But normally me and Jules will go through the topics, and again, appreciate y'all chiming in the chat. So everyone enjoy their weekend. I'm enjoying my time off. I had an early start to my break, so I'm gloating. And,
Happy Easter, everyone. Enjoy the weather. If you're on the East Coast, it's supposed to be nice this weekend.
Oh, really? About time. Yeah. It's pretty nice out here in Louisville. In case if any of the James Gunn fans want to visit me out here, you're more than welcome.
Cash me out. You got to get these sound bites. So I've been getting on you for months now.
I mean, now I got some time off. I can kind of focus on some improvement. Let me go for Jules. Tell y'all too much. But much love, Sil Nation. We'll be back. This is the WB Paramount Saudi's DC Snyderverse show. We out.
Watchmen forever vigilant, steady watching and listening, disciplined, militant, killing these dudes that started visiting. What's the latest word, yo, Sil? We need to know. Tell us what you heard, yo, Sil. We need to know the ins and outs. Who's walking out, buying in? We need to know your thoughts on what you do to stream a hell of a show. Let's go. One hell of a show. Let's go.